My dudes, what's up? Welcome to episode 8 of the DT podcast. Here we are, my good friend trihex. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, bro. Wait, since when did you use the term "my dudes"? That's patented by Giant Waffle, bro.
Oh, dude, I was using my dude so long ago. I'm pretty sure I was using it before him. That's an old Destiny meme. I think it got picked up by some people. I don't remember if I was using it before Giant Wolf or not. Actually, does anyone actually know? It might have been a kind of like how calculus was invented by two different people at the same time, and it might have been one of those things where we both discovered it at the same time, or maybe he was using it first. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure I
Well,
used it
dude,
first.
you're Destiny. You're smart. You got the big brain. Just go ahead and patent the phrase "my dude," and then have Waffle and company pay you a royalty every
Every
time you
time
use
they
it.
use it. How
Dude,
have you
easy,
been?
dude. Easy money. You can drop your sub goal. You don't need anymore. Just make it funds itself practically.
Didn't Trick 2G try to go this route with patenting the sub games shit? Do you remember this drama a long time
Wait,
ago?
wait, wait, wait. What? No,
Oh fuck
dude,
you.
that was a massive shitter. Wait, that's actually a thing.
Yeah, Trick 2G had like sub games or whatever, and he tried to like patent this a long time ago, and it was like massively fucking unpopular. You don't remember? Oh shit,
So they're trying to patent the notion of like having subscriber only games
something like
on your
that. Yeah,
stream.
on like League of Legends. Yeah.
Oh man. This reminds me of probably the most controversial patent I can think of here. I say controversial, but like similar in vein is when Amazon patented the one click purchase,
Mm-hmm.
right? Have you heard about that?
I
Or
didn't
I
know they
don't know.
tried to, but
Yeah, yeah, I believe they tried to, but it was like you can't really patent. I forget how that worked out though. Actually, unfortunately, because I read this like a long time ago. But minor tangent there. But yeah, predatory patenting. That's definitely a topic we should cover at some point. Because damn, has that got out of control now as well? That's been a problem for like over 20 years now. Really.
hell yeah. Speaking of Amazon, my mattress gets here today. I've been sleeping on the floor for 2 weeks, which is okay with me, but other people seem to have a huge problem with this. So I'm really excited for this mattress to get here to shut everybody the fuck up. Oh my god.
Really, really. All right. Well, like, did you order a new one, or did you, 'cause
I got
I know
a
you recently moved, so like, did you do the whole thing where you put all of your shit like in an 18 wheeler, and then have the 18 wheeler meet you at your house like 2 weeks later?
I guess so. Basically, what I do is the way that I function when I need to clean a room, I take a big trash bag, and if I haven't used it in a month, I just throw it the fuck away. So when it came time to moving, I have my two computers, my keyboard, basically my whole streaming setup,
Mm-hmm.
um, my laptop, and my clothes, and that's all I moved with, and everything else is like fuck it. So I need to get stuff, but that's okay. I got a bed coming. I got a dresser coming. I think that's all I need to be a human, right?
Nice,
I
nice.
think those things. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? There's two things there I want to say about that. One is I've never been to IKEA. I want to go one day because
Mm-hmm.
I hear that if I ever do go, I'm just gonna end up wanting to throw up all my current furniture now and just like upgrade to the IKEA lifestyle. But also, two, you bring up a really good point. I'm really into the function when it comes to the layout of a particular room,
Mm-hmm.
and I really am a fan of the. I watched a documentary once about this. The heat spots in your home. Like if you have like an apartment and you figure out, where are human bodies occupying space most frequently,
Mm-hmm.
you get an idea of where all the body heat would be, aka the heat spots. And if you have like a particular room or space that has like it's cold, like you're rarely in there, it's just accumulating junk, it's not facilitating any kind of function, then your arrangement there is bad and you need to like change it. So I always try to look at that and like, okay, what area of my house do I rarely go in and why is that such? And I try to like examine like, well, maybe it's because I don't this arrangement here is not really good or whatever it may be. So I always try to like improve everything in that regard.
Sure. Yeah, that's why I hear people talk about like the most important things you can get are like a good chair and a good bed because this is where you spend like 90% of your time if you
Oh
work on
yeah,
a
dude.
computer. Yeah.
I like to break it down as a because there are people, right? There are keyboard and mice skeptics, right? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, dude, you should if you're a PC person, like if you use your PC even like near daily, like your keyboard, your mouse, or your input devices, the dollar per hour of usage you're gonna get out of a good desk, a good computer chair, a good keyboard, and a good mouse will go way far. I'm always like calling them out, like, dude, if you get the little shitty ass $10 new Way keyboard, dude, you're missing out, man. You're missing out, dude.
Yep. I agree. So today we have what do we have today? Oh, we've got a smorgasbord of topics. Nothing too exciting, but we're starting off with our good boy, our good man, the one and
Who's that?
only R. Kelly, who I only know through Dave Chappelle skits. So I don't have
So
the
okay,
best
wait.
impression of him.
So you don't know much about Mr. Robert Kelly?
I've heard things, but again, only through the Boondocks and through Dave Chappelle skits. I'm not intimately familiar with him. So why don't you
Well,
enlighten
so
us? I've heard things.
okay, so Robert Kelly is a really really popular R&B singer. Had his dominance. Ooh, almost dropped my shit right there. Had his dominance in the '90s. Most people would probably say his most iconic song is the "I Believe I Can Fly,"
Mm-hmm.
tethered to the Space Jam soundtrack
Mm-hmm.
from 1996. Yeah, so R. Kelly can sing. He's done a lot of songs on sex and I don't see nothing wrong with a little bit of bump and grind. Age ain't nothing but a number. I believe I can fly. The world's greatest. Yeah, he's pretty. He's synonymous with that barbershop slow jam R&B that people are kind of nostalgic for since particularly since the early '90s onward.
Yeah.
Um,
And now that
but
we
yeah, that
from that age ain't nothing but a number, we can segue into the next part of the conversation about him.
Yeah. So why is R. Kelly in the news? Well, there was a 6 part or is it 5 part 5 part documentary series called Surviving R. Kelly. It debuted on Lifetime television January 3rd, I want to say. Um and in this documentary, you have one of the dominant R. Kelly accusers coming forward and saying that, okay, I'm tired of it. Me Too movement's going on right now. I'm tired of uh, Kelly existing in some kind of like tentpole limelight of nostalgia, whether it be on Spotify or whatever, because all of his songs bump and jam. But meanwhile, he's a sexual predator. Um, in her words, he's a sexual, mental, and physical abuser, and it's been going on for a long time now. And someone needs to call him out. And so one of the victims slash accusers here is want to come forward and be like, yeah, I'm tired of the bullshit. Let me expose Robert Kelly. And the ratings for it were through the roof. And now we're having a conversation. If you go on Twitter, it's everywhere right now, about is Robert Kelly's time up?
Well, more than a conversation, actually. I think, was it Georgia or Tennessee is now like doing criminal investigations?
Yeah, that's correct. Actually, now we have that going on. But before that, I wanted to just go back a little bit here because
Mm-hmm.
you referenced here, about the Dave Chappelle thing. So yeah, there was a Dave Chappelle skit about Robert Kelly supposedly peeing on girls, women, whatever, teenagers, adult women, whatever it may be. And what I do have for you here is that in 2002, Robert Kelly was charged with 21 counts of child pornography. It went on for a few years. I don't know if it's the same case or not here, but in 2008 the case was dismissed because there wasn't conclusive evidence. But particularly the 2002 case with the 21 charges of child porn, um, the defense on Kelly's attorney's end was that his likeliness may have been computer generated, which is what led to the Dave Chappelle skit saying that piss, the accusation here that he was peeing on children, that piss was digital, that it was added in. So that's where that whole thing comes from right there.
Yeah. And then
Um,
the did you ever watch the Boondocks skit on that?
I don't recall. I have watched Boondock season 1 through 3, but I don't recall exactly what happens in that particular episode. Can you refresh me on it? Since you're really really familiar with it.
Oh, it was just kind of fuck, I should have had the clip ready to go. But it was like a similar kind of joke where like if he's not there with like 2 witnesses plus like his grandma to ID him or some shit, like it doesn't count or something. Fuck, it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Oh
But
yeah. I forgot that.
there was a whole episode called like the trial of R. Kelly. It's just it was a pretty funny episode.
Yeah. So there was that, and then finally here, or I say finally, there may have been more in between here, but I want to get like the really noteworthy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In 2017, he was also accused of having a sex relationship with a teen. This happened a couple of times here, but
Yeah.
particularly there was this one went pretty high profile in 2017. But there's been numerous accusations of Kelly being with teenagers throughout the last 20 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing surprising there. Another and before I get to the what's been going on in particular, if you guys are familiar with the R&B singer from the '90s, Alea, She where she was featured on the cover of Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Kind of a cool trivia thing here, but you can see R. Kelly in the background of the CD single cover. So he's just sitting there like chilling, looking debatably predatory, but
Let's bring that guy up.
So
This is the woman that he supposedly.
I'm sorry, Aaliyah. I'm sorry. I forgive me. I apologize. There, I have a coworker. At my old job, and I had like an Alea, I had an Aaliyah, I had an Alaya. I kid you not. I had all those. Like I had a Christy, a Kirsten, Christina. I had like all like the girl names. I lose my spaghetti a little bit there, so I apologize for mispronouncing it.
Wait, is this the right? Can you see what I'm looking at? Is this the right thing?
Yeah, correct. Oh, yeah, you found it. Yeah,
Yeah, there it is. There we go.
yeah. Apparently that's R. Kelly in the background there. A little bit of trivia for you there, but
So he married this girl when she was 14 and he was 27.
whoa, I didn't know that. Really?
Oh, yep. They had
Holy shit.
the allegation is that they had like an undercover marriage, I think, or they got like a secret wedding or whatever that they had to get annulled, and then later on this she tried to get it expunged. She was 15 but lied about her age. Well, supposedly I think it was R. Kelly's manager at the time that came out and said that he had gotten her fake ID credentials or whatever in order for the ceremony to go through. But yeah, it was like she was like 14 or 15 and he was 27, I think. But yeah.
Holy shit, dude. Okay. I guess knowing I'm glad I brought that random trivia up now because now that we know that, well, now we can get into what what's being accused here. What's the accusations in this Surviving R. Kelly documentary, right? Well, first thing first. Again, we have a victim here. We have an accuser who's saying that that she was sexually, mentally, and physically abused. She wanted to come forward with it. She needed high profile people who would unapologetically know about these things so that her accusations would have more credit, right? And it's particularly important here to note that quite a few high profile people chose to not participate in the series. She reached out to Jay-Z, Dave Chappelle, and fuck, I'm forgetting the other two here. I had it written down too, and I freaking lost track of that at some point here.
You told me you said that John Legend was the one of the few that actually came forward and confirmed or corroborated stuff, right?
Correct. Yeah, John Legend was one of the very few who came forward and collaborated and elaborated on things on questionable things about R. Kelly's behavior. Sadly, though, I haven't yet watched the series in question. I want to. So I really can't go any much further on what the series does. But here are the general accusations that were presented there is that particularly in 2017, Kelly's been keeping women in a so-called sex cult at one of his estates in North Atlanta, right? So at first I thought it was just gonna be like a general accusation of okay, yeah, Kelly did some questionable things in the past, and we gotta prove that forward. No, very recently, Kelly has had multiple women at his estate, and the accusations have been that they have been kept there against their will. His publicist has defended him multiple times over the last 3 years minimum, saying that the women are of age, of their own mind, of their own will, and they choose to remain here, and there's no abuse happening. So there are women, there is some kind of like harem going on at his estate here. But yeah, he's saying that they're here of their own will, and it's cool. But to continue, her accusation here said that the women are forced to call Kelly and refer to him as daddy, and they require his permission to bathe, eat, use the restroom, and move between rooms. So yeah, there's some power play going on here right now. So yeah, we gotta you listen to the subject matter and the songs here. It may not be too far fetched to say that you got a sex cult going on right here, boys. Yikes.
I mean, as long as it's all consensual, although it doesn't sound like it may be. I don't know. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, all of the I think it was that recent documentary that you mentioned, Surviving R. Kelly, that actually instigated investigations in Georgia now, I think. Yeah, criminal investigations in Georgia. Yeah. I'm not sure what exactly the criminal. Fuck, I should have looked this up. Has opened an investigation into allegations made against the singer in Surviving R. Kelly. We're told the probe was launched over the past few days as a direct result of what Surviving R. Kelly depicted. And yeah, apparently investigators are reaching out to people from the TV show to figure out what the fuck is going on. So yeah, should be interesting.
So there's that. There's also though this fan base reaction right now. We have a classic case here of, can one truly separate the art from the artist? Because you have some hardcore R. Kelly fans who are, I guess I don't want to say what they're being accused by the opposition here, but they're sex cult apologists, and they're saying that, you know, how can one who produces such great music be what you say he is? He's a great person. So you're having people who are advocating for having R. Kelly's music taken off of like Spotify, iTunes, etc. You have people who are on the other extreme who are like, you know, burning their albums and trashing them because because now they listen to the context of these sexual songs, and it's like, you know, is this in context of the crazy sex cult he was running for a long period of time, and or, you know, peeing on kids or whatever accusation you want to throw out there that may have been plausible now. So I don't know. This is obviously, yeah, I'm like, ugh, but have you ever been in a situation where you have an
underground sex cult? Oh, sorry, what?
No, I don't know. Like, have you? No. Have you ever been in a situation where like you had an artist? For me, what comes to mind here particularly is, I guess, like Louis C.K. Have you ever had like a situation where like you're a fan of someone, of their work, their output, but then the person become questionable later on, and does that make you like lesser appreciate their work? Can you separate the art from the artist on your particular end, Destiny?
I want to say that I have an above average ability to do it. I don't know why. I think I'm just really good at compartmentalizing that kind of stuff. I guess like the best example that I would give, well, I say above average, assuming that it's a good thing to do so. Some people think that you shouldn't.
Yeah,
do
no,
this.
that I would agree with that. I think it's a good thing to be able to do that.
Yeah, so I guess like I guess like my personal examples are you know, like all the Newgrounds animators and everything. Did you ever follow this stuff, like Ego Raptor and stuff?
Yeah, like 05 is when this was like when
Yeah.
05 was kind of dying off because YouTube had came out at that point.
Yeah, I love all of those videos, and I love that art style, or like the things that like are you familiar with like Psychic Pebbles? He did like Hellbenders or some shit. Like all of this stuff online is really cool and really funny, and I really enjoy watching it. And all of those guys came out of the woodwork to like relentlessly shit on me during the JonTron thing. So like every animator that I'd ever liked on Newgrounds came out of the woodwork to shit on me on Twitter. But I still really like all of their stuff, and I'm not going to sit here and say that just because I hate them, I hate their art, or even if they personally hate me, I hate their art or whatever. So I think I'm decent at like separating it out. Kind of my personal view of it, and I understand that there are other contrary views that you can do. Oh man, we're not allowed to get triggered by chat when we do this, right? Destiny was hyper wrong when he got in an argument with Psychic Pebbles. Yikes! I'm not gonna get triggered. Yeah. I remember when all of that happened. Yeah, I'm still like really cool with their stuff. I figure that oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I remember what I was saying. The way that I view it is like if you attach like a celebrity's persona to their art, and then you decide not to consume art because of things they've done, however wrong or disgusting they may be, it seems like you're just cutting yourself off from enjoying pieces of art. Like you're basically saying like, here's a wide variety of art. Some of this I could enjoy, but I can't because of the person attached to it, and I wouldn't want to lose out on enjoying stuff like that. Yeah.
No, I hear you on that. I actually feel that it's a good thing to be able to separate the two, because in time, like, you know, the art can be interpreted in a different lens as we have more relativism. And if you're too caught up in your emotions and your feelings, then yeah, you're not gonna be able. You're just gonna exclude yourself from culture in the first place. I can see that can hold you back a lot here. I mean, if we go back here to the whole idea of the founding fathers, and you know, there are people who were like dismissing the entire. Ooh, this actually, I'm making this a really hot topic right now, but dismissing the founding fathers, you know, particularly because of the utilization of slaves, and like contextually, it was not as taboo back then. So it's a little bit you got to look at it in a different lens. But that's more about, I guess, more relativism than actually art from the artist.
Yeah.
Back to what I was going to get to here about Louis C.K. Louis C.K. was my favorite or is my favorite comedian, stand-up comedian. Or to be fair though, I haven't consumed a lot of stand up in the last like 5 years. Really, it's more like the previous half of the 2010s that I was really on like a stand up gig where I would like try to watch like old Jerry Seinfeld and old Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And no, big fan. I thought his stuff was like real. Like I'm not even a parent, and I related to his parent gigs phenomenally. I was like, wow, this is really great. Having only had like retail experience, I had enough PTSD from retail to be able to consume his tropes here with Parenthood. And then when the whole thing happens, I'm just like, that's unfortunate. But I'm not gonna lie, he's still funny. But that doesn't undermine like my criticisms of his non-apology or what he did with the whole masturbation. What do you call it? Your fat gate or whatever it was called. I don't know,
Something
whatever
like
you want
that.
to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, separating it's definitely I think a better thing to have in the long run.
Yeah, and then especially as public figures, kind of like the flip side argument is that if there's some activity that you deem to be immoral by consuming their content or purchasing content from them, especially or promoting it, whether that's playing music around friends or like we do talking about it publicly, people would argue that you're promoting, something that you personally are against, and that would make you hypocritical or that would be an immoral thing in and of itself. But yeah.
Yeah, and that's the part where it gets a little bit tricky here because you know, if I played R. Kelly on my stream today, are people going to tell me that I'm endorsing the I don't know. I know that's like the whole thing there. Like I'm saying that I shouldn't separate art from the artist here, but I admit I'm not sure if I would want to. I'm a little bit scared, hesitant to actually play R. Kelly on stream today if I wanted to,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm thinking like the lowest common denominator of like, oh, so you're okay with the sex cult happening and all the and women being abused and shit like that.
Do you have a
And I'm
stance on the Michael Jackson stuff?
whew, well, that's a loaded one right there. I'm not a fan of how like okay, so he passed in 2009, right? I'm not a fan of how the coverage was. It made him look like a lunatic, but I don't think I know enough about the Michael Jackson thing to really say conclusively, right? I mean, ultimately, wasn't his correct me if I'm wrong here. Wasn't his penis like tested for DNA or some bullshit like that, and it came back as negative? Like there was no evidence of any kind of penile penetration to kids or some shit like that.
Fuck, I don't know. I never, honest to God, most of what I know about Michael Jackson comes from Chris Rock skits. so I'm not even sure what the fuck is real.
Yeah. I'm not okay. So there was a here's what I can say. All right, I think in '93 or '94 there was a press conference where Jackson admitted with his like synthetically high pitched voice that yeah, I've had my penis tested. His quotes here: I had my penis tested and it came back negative.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do anything. I've been completely cooperative with the police, so I'm clean. Now, the accusation there is that did he fuck kids? And the answer supposedly is no. Now,
Mm-hmm.
did he sleep with kids? Were there kids in his bedroom? Were there kids at his Never Ranch all day long and spending and having sleepovers and whatnot? Yes, and that's where it's like, okay, well, there's things going on here, but ultimately, it's like with Michael Jackson, I mean, Papa Joe, beat him as a kid. He was robbed of his childhood. He's definitely got like a very particular psyche that leads to,
Pretty special
um,
upbringing, yeah.
yeah. This is not a regular person whatsoever here. So his
Mm-hmm.
extraordinary events will lead to some extraordinary, I don't know, mental behaviorisms, I guess. So again, it's only what I know. But I wasn't prepared for this topic offhand here. So
Sure. Okay. What do you think? What do you think's gonna come out of the R. Kelly stuff? Do you think that we actually see him like locked up, or did
I
you
guess
watch
okay. So first thing
Surviving
first,
R. Kelly?
do
Or
I think he's guilty? Is it fair to speculate here at this point?
well, yeah. Did you watch the documentary, the Surviving R. Kelly stuff? Or
No, I didn't. I didn't watch it yet. Sadly, I found about it like the day before yesterday that this was a thing. So
okay.
I didn't get a chance to yet, but I do want to watch it though. So maybe I'll be able to do a follow up next week on that. But so far it wouldn't surprise me. Dude. The Aaliyah. Oh, I just confused myself on how to pronounce her name, but forgive me here. The whole her being married to Robert Kelly already gives me a lot of negative vibes there. So
Yeah, you think?
yeah, so it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, dude, these artists go through a massive ego boost, and they feel like they're like
Invincible.
invincible, untouchable,
I mean, it seems like a lot of them
invulnerable.
largely are. I mean, I don't even blame them for for thinking that. It seems.
I mean, we look at all we look at all the things that are going on with the Me Too movement. People who go unchallenged for decades on end, whether it
Mhm.
be Roger Ailes or Weinstein. Almost said
Harvey
Weinstein.
Weinstein.
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, you know, you got a bunch of pieces of shit getting away with their power complex for a long ass time, and even now, the fact that only um John Legend came forward here. The like, you know, Jay-Z and Dave Chappelle don't want to get into it because it's a giant muddy fucking mess from a PR standpoint. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, even if it's the right thing to do. So, yeah, dude, it's crazy. I would love to know more about the context of those who declined to comment. I can't wait to watch this myself personally. But yeah, I am definitely it wouldn't surprise me at all, dude. The power struggles are actually insane. So people go unchallenged for a long period of time. There's even, by the way, and I'm sorry, I forgot one more small fact here. There was a teen in 2016 who notably defended Kelly, saying that I am happy here. And I just couldn't tell. It was a quote in one of these New Yorker articles, and I was just like, is she saying it because she wants to? Is she saying it because like there's like so many things now, right? Like maybe that might be the one girl that Robert Kelly wants to give a genuine good experience to. That way he has like, you know, one
Well,
outlet
so
of
yeah,
positivity.
yeah. Hold on, so to be careful here. Are you familiar with
Okay.
the term Stockholm syndrome?
No, fill me in.
Okay,
What's
so
going on?
it's very possible to like abduct somebody or to put somebody in a certain state of mind where even though they're held there kind of against their will, eventually they grow to enjoy that relationship or they kind of get mind fucked into wanting to be there. This is what a lot of people talk about in regards to like Elizabeth Smart, right? Where
Oh,
yeah, you can like hardcore identify with your captor and you know, you get yeah, basically, like I could kidnap somebody and condition them to enjoy being in my presence. So so they don't escape on their own. So that and this happens unintentionally too. This isn't like some CIA level mind control techniques. It's just, you know, something that can
right.
happen, like a side effect, a byproduct of the human psyche or whatever. Yeah, so something to be really careful of. And you can find lots of different examples of these types of internalized negative attitudes as well. I'm sure you've heard the term like internalized misogyny
Hmm.
or like Uncle Tom. You've heard these terms, right? Like yeah,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you can get people that have like kind of like internalized like very very negative views of themselves or end up like being okay with like a certain set of things that you wouldn't expect. So yeah, it definitely happens. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So I've heard examples of that before. I just didn't know it as the name of Stockholm syndrome, or
Yeah.
I've heard the term before, but sorry for not knowing that in advance.
Oh yeah. No. Fuck. We could talk about the Drake stuff too, but did you see that video?
Oh yeah, Drake was he was dancing with some under I say underage, but like 17, 16-year-old girl on stage in a very provocative manner. Is that correct?
Man, I don't want to go with the fucking nuclear takes because I'm getting so tired of doing nuclear takes. But I have mixed feelings about it. So initially, when I saw it, it was super fucking yikes because I was under the impression that the girl was like 14 and he was like 25 or some shit, and it was like, whoa. But people have been correcting him on the age. I should have looked this up, and we're saying that like he was 21 and the girl is 17, and it's like, I mean, like it's still pretty
Okay.
bad, but like, fucking like that's like I don't
So
know.
wait,
It's
now
way.
when you say he's 21, so it means that the footage was from years ago because
Oh yeah,
Drake
yeah.
is
It was old as
yeah, because
fuck.
okay,
What
about to say,
can
'cause
I actually
Drake
get
is
a
like
confirmation like
20.
the actual? Okay, people are saying 23. Okay, yeah, that's probably still pretty bad. I think I don't know. Age of consent in Canada is it 16 in Canada as opposed to I think 18 in the U.S. or it might be 16 in the U.S. But you can't make porn until you're 18 or
Well,
whatever. I don't even
even
fucking
then,
know.
let's also go into the context here. It was at one of his concerts, right?
Yeah, it
Correct.
was. Oh yeah, on stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like he's in a complete like ego empowering environment where like
Mm-hmm.
yeah you I want you like you know the girl is it's not IDing the girl like you're supposed to ID the girl before you call them on stage for some kind of
Oh
like
no
private
no! Be
interaction.
careful! Be careful! Yeah yeah. So the problem was that like, the problem was that
Not
in
that
the
I'm advocating for it.
yeah, no,
I'm
no.
bringing up
The problem was
like
that initially he didn't know the age of the girl, but after he
right.
found out, he still went like pretty hard in, which was kind of the cringy part. Like,
Yeah,
because he
yeah.
found out the age and then he backed off and he was like, "Whoa, whoa, I don't want to get in trouble." And it was like, "Okay, okay." But then afterwards, he found out, and then like he gave her like a kiss on the cheek, and then a kiss on the other cheek, and then a kiss on her forehead, and then like a kiss on her lips, and then like it was like, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. But that's not like a huge thing. Although there's been a lot of rumors about Drake grooming kind of like underage girls, like talking with them since they're 15. Apparently, he's like he said he started fucking a girl like the second she turned 18. And fuck, I wish I could remember the names on this, but like yeah, there's like a lot of stuff that floats around, I guess. I'm related to the Stranger Things girl. Yeah, related to Drake. But
Oh yeah, the Stranger Things girl. That is a that's another one people were a little bit weirded out by, but
mhm.
there's like no conclusive evidence though. So
Yeah, and it's
yeah,
so
it's
hard.
a,
A
it's
lot
a
of it is like the difference between like, oh, like I text him all the time because he's like a big brother, and we talk about boys, and and that could be innocent, but it could also not be. It's hard to say. Like,
yeah. Where's the line, right? That's like the biggest thing.
yeah,
Like
or like
I think
talking about boys could be like, like, hey, like, keep yourself safe, blah blah blah, or it could be like, yeah, so what'd you guys do last night? Huh? Yeah, like it could go like either way, so it's really hard to say.
yeah. Yeah, but I guess it's like important to remember that like she's really young. That's the whole thing, right? Like there's a benefit of a doubt. Yeah, he's being a good guy and helping, looking out for her. But then it's like then you have to remember that I think at the time she was 14 when this happened. This was like last year, right? Or was that
Are you
2017?
talking about the Stranger Things girl?
Yeah, yeah, Stranger Things girl.
I mean,
Yeah,
when it
this
leaked, it
was
was
fairly
like,
recently,
yeah, when
and
this leaked, it was like a
she's
year ago. Yeah.
yeah. So, I don't know. I guess there's another topic there, isn't it? Though, like, what are the boundaries here? When is it like creepy versus weird versus like, etc. The scales of the scales of whenever it's like not awkward or not like questionable to have like regular conversations about
Yeah, when you're 30, probably
sexual.
with 15-year-olds, generally probably not a good idea. At least if you're a celebrity. The next
Yeah, that's a
documentary,
big
I
thing too.
Survived Drake. Yeah. Speaking of
Yeah.
creepy, uncomfortable things that are probably bad for your career, Twitch terms of service, our favorite conversation topic that somehow always gets brought up every other
Hey,
thing.
every other podcast, we're back at it again.
So Mango got banned for drinking. I don't think this is this controversial. I mean, a lot of people have had this happen, right?
Yeah.
Shots
So
for donations or drinking too much on stream is something that can get you in trouble. Basically, if you look like you're engaging in any type of behavior that could be self-destructive, I think Twitch will pull the plug on you pretty quickly. It's kind of a thing they do. So
yeah, it's a little funny to see that that got particularly enforced here. A little bit about what happened here in the context. So it was football Sunday, if I recall correctly here, or maybe Monday Night Football. I forget which day it was actually, but either way, Mango is a big Philadelphia Eagles fan, and Philly had won the game. And or did he win the game or lose the game? I don't actually remember who won, but either way, he drank to celebrate and or forget or ease the pain. They won. Okay, they won. All right, cool. So they won. He was lit. He was livid and not livid. He was lit and he downed a lot of beer. I don't know if he finished a six pack or what, or it was like a bunch of bottles. And eventually he was so sauced, for lack of a better term here, that he on camera he falls over, knocking over the chair, and kind of just passes out for a few minutes. And then his girlfriend comes along and kills the stream afterward. But he was fine. But yeah, he just passed out on stream.
hmm
So
well, wait, hold on. Didn't he come out and say that he didn't actually pass out, but he was doing it for memes?
ooh, that I don't know actually.
Yeah, I
I don't
think he
know.
came. It was either on Twitter or something else. He claimed that he didn't actually pass out. He was just doing it because he was memeing. The problem though is that and this is something a lot of people don't understand. You can't meme self-destructive things on Twitch without it. You'll get in trouble for it. Like if
Yeah.
if my girlfriend is like off stream and I walk over to her and I was like, "Shut the fuck up," and she starts screaming, and then I come back and I don't say anything about it, and then the next day I get banned. I can be like, guys, I was just clapping, it was just a meme. Come on, it was fine. You'll get fucked for that. Twitch is all
Yeah,
even
you
before
can't
the
push that card.
yeah, even before the community guidelines, Twitch has done this. Do you remember when Trick2G caught a temp ban when he was fake swatted? You remember this? Did you? Oh fuck,
No,
you
no,
don't.
I didn't hear about it. No, I knew
Um,
about. Okay, wait. So the no, no, not the fake SWAT. No, I'm afraid.
yeah, Trick2G got he got swatted, and it was yeah, it was totally fake. They paid some people or whatever. Um,
Wait. I remember. Okay, wait. I remember someone getting fake swatted. They were like at a. Sorry, it sounds so generic here. They were at a desk and then they turned around and whoever it was being swatted, quote unquote, did the most unconvincing.
Listen to
It was the
shit.
most
yeah,
unconvincing turnaround shock ever. It
Yo, this is a
might have been
celebration.
that one, but I feel like I've heard of scripted scripted
I've got the
things.
video
So
up. I pulled it up, Jamie.
oop,
Here it is.
play it for me.
Stream. I'm fucking. This is private property. Tell TRK, damn it, just let her loose, and she'll just bark all over them. Or they will just fucking pile up the duck shit that they shitted all over the what do you call it? Just go stick.
Police! Hands! Police! Get up! Get up!
Yo, what the fuck?
Stop resisting. Hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Give me your hands. Give me your hands. Chill out. You calm? You calm?
He was like smiling like as it happened.
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
kinda-
definitely. Yeah, that reaction was very
One thing, I guess because Twitch has changed up quite a bit. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but Athene challenged Alex Ick to a 1v1 in League of Legends. Bryce mid, I don't know why, but he faked being swatted too at the end when he was losing, which was kind of funny in a pathetic sort of way because apparently Alex wasn't even in on it. He just faked being swatted so he wouldn't have to bear the loss out, and yeah, he didn't get in trouble for that though. I don't think.
So apparently, the one I might be referencing here might be Athene. Am I saying his name correctly?
It's Alex
It's
Each. Sorry, I don't know how to fucking pronounce this guy's name.
Afraid.
But that was for a League of Legends game. That's the one you're familiar with, or?
I'm trying to see now. That let me see here. They're saying the one I'm describing might be that one.
Well, the one that you talked where the guy turned around. I mean, that was pretty much
Yeah, it wasn't that one though. But it doesn't even matter. Point is, yeah, like okay, yeah. So scripting self-harm on Twitch is a giant. Yeah, you're kind of edging a little too far there, and you should expect negative things to happen from that. Yeah.
I'll play the Athene one real quick. It's like 20 seconds. Hold on.
Go for it.
A bar or something? Like there was a fight in a bar?
I have no fucking clue, man. This is just crazy.
Wait, no.
What is that bunk? What? Are they bunking on our door? No, what? Whoa, no. Don't come at me! Don't come at me! Subscribe.
Wow.
Yeah, I like
I hadn't seen that one either, but
the
holy
perfect
shit, yeah.
camera point to the people walking in, but like, yeah. The fake smoke, yeah.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, no, I agree with you though. Yeah, if you fake self-harm, it's mega questionable to say the least here. But yeah, regardless though, yeah, Mango got a 7-day ban for whatever, faking the pass out or genuinely passing out, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
But also at the same time this week, what else do we have here? There was actually a bigger story concerning ToS Enforcement, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, one that makes me pretty uncomfortable. So the Deadmau5 guy, the Australian, the whole domestic abuse shit. Apparently his initial ban, well, not apparently, his initial ban was a temp ban. So he was unbanned. He came back to Twitch, and then he was rebanned shortly thereafter, within a day, I think. And it kind of makes me wonder if it's literally like, it was a temp ban initially, blah, 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 but because it got so much publicity, we're going to go ahead and turn this into a permanent ban, Yeah, I've had a couple talks with Twitch about how uncomfortable I am with the idea that it kind of seems like bans sometimes go based on what gets popular on like live stream fails and shit, but it kind of seems like it does sometimes,
Yeah, no, I agree. Perhaps what was most scary here is initially I was corrected here. I thought that he had another abuse get reported to the local PD like after he got unbanned, like he like beat his his
no, I don't think so, or I hadn't heard
right. I thought that initially, and I thought that's what escalated it to becoming a perma-ban at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But to my knowledge, actually, no, he was unbanned after 2 weeks, and then for a full day or almost a full day, for almost 24 hours, he was unbanned. He was streaming, and there was like a massive backlash from the Twitch community in its entirety that like, well, I see people get, with the discuss of the lack of standards, right, or inconsistent standards.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen people get permabanned for far less than domestic abuse or accused domestic abuse, and Here, this guy gets a 2-week, not even a perma for this kind of thing. That's crazy. Like, if he can get away with a 2-week for doing this, and what's required for a perma ban? And it seems really questionable on the ethics of the Twitch board, which is trying to be, super duper inclusive, right?
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm not sure. It's all. It's
So, yeah,
all.
so
Who
it
the
seems,
fuck knows? Yeah.
Yeah, it seems extra scary because it seems like it was going to be only a 2-week ban until the backlash. So there's like a social influenced judgment on the enforcement of TOS, it seems, which is even scarier, right? So like if there's like and you've seen it before here where you've had like Twitter mobs go hardcore and ultimately the wrong direction due to inconclusive evidence. Not saying that's the case here though, but like if there was like, I guess social justice advocations for a particular person or thing, and it's ultimately in the wrong in hindsight after we have conclusive evidence here, if Twitch caves into that social pressure without knowing all the facts, you could see what would be a super error-based enforcement of TOS, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I find is scary.
Yep, definitely. I agree. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say there. That's probably not a good idea. Ellie, the Overwatch player, you didn't get a chance to look up too much on this?
Whew, man. So again, the context here, I don't play Overwatch, and I'm not super duper familiar with the Overwatch League. But yeah, at first, okay, so there's two parts to the story, right? Because at first we had our first, I don't know, it was Ellie, quote unquote, the first ever female
To be recruited into contenders or whatever for Overwatch, yeah.
Yeah. And there was a lot of discussion being had here about all the accusations of Ellie. Here we are getting a reinforcement of the toxic treatment that females go through in esports or even just in competitive gaming in general. Because, if a guy is good at a game, it's no big deal. But if it's a female good at a game, it's, oh, she got carried, or, oh, it's you're getting boosted, or I don't even think you're really a girl. There's immediate skepticism if you're a female in a high ranking game of any kind of competitive aspect, right? Not to mention just additional harassment and flaming because of the scapegoat of of your gender being thrown out there time and time again. Well, so there was a conversation being had there about that, and then ultimately, eventually, Ellie, who didn't use webcam, never anything, didn't use voice at first for a very, very long while, quits Overwatch. And then there was a big discussion being had here about, like, here we go again, toxic treatment of females in gaming, or something to that note here. But then there's a plot twist, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It comes out that the second win team wasn't able to get any of the information verified from Blizzard about who it was, or I guess they got information back from Blizzard that pretty much showed that this person wasn't who they said they were. And then it turns out that, the claim is the huge claim that comes out is that it was all just a social experiment after I guess she got caught doing this.
Yeah. So who do we have here? What's his name? Is it Predator? I forget. It begins with a P. I had it here somewhere.
The person that was actually playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh fuck! Hold on. Was it Punisher? Hold on. I have to look.
Punisher. There you go. Yeah, correct. Those Punisher.
Yeah. Some like random top 500 ladder player, whatever on. Overwatch.
Correct. Yeah. So at one point during the social experiment, Predator came on.
Punisher.
Predator again. I'm sorry, Punisher.
Punisher.
Punisher come on to Ellie's stream to be the voice of credit, to say that no, Ellie is a real person. I know them, or something to that note. And not only that, but I'm sorry, it's the guy wrong here. It's a Predator or Punisher. It's Punisher, right?
Punisher. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Punisher had multiple female accomplices be the voice of Ellie during said streams. So you had females acting out as Ellie's voice while playing Overwatch, and then you had Punisher coming in reinforcing as a voice of credit here that Ellie's legitimate. And this one big orchestrated social experiment that seems really dumb to do, because
I don't think it was a social experiment. I think they just got caught and it was just dumb. I don't think this whole like LOL social experiment, by the way, is the way to go on this. I'm pretty sure they just got caught and fucked. Like,
all right, okay.
Especially because they tried to play it off after. It was like, oh, like now you can see how hard it is, for women to make it in gaming. Like we like proved our point, and it's like, okay. Yeah, so the Ellie person I don't think was ever a real person. It was It was a friend of a streamer named Aspen was the one that I think the stream and kind of revealed everything that, yeah, that everything was like a social experiment, or that, you know, the player Ellie was actually Punisher, and I don't think they know yet who like the voice was for Ellie during any of the streams or anything. And yeah, yep.
Okay. Well, let me ask this. Okay, so if and I agree with. Okay, so the social experiment, I guess, alibi was like, you know, whatever, because we got caught. So then, what was the intention here? What was even the point? Like, if it wasn't to conduct a social experiment, why even have the? What's the motive to fake a person into the Overwatch League?
I don't know. Supposedly on Aspen's stream, she was saying that like the whole point was to show how difficult it was to be a woman in gaming. That was part of like the social experiment or some shit. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know like what the ultimate point was. If the guy just wanted a chance to play, you know, in Contenders League, if it was just a big meme to see if they could fuck with people, or.
Well, is there like any kind of money benefit involved? Like, can this guy like effectively compete twice in the league and get double the prize money? Is that possibility? Could like Punisher and again Punisher's alt here, aka Ellie, both be in the league at the same time? Was that a thing ever? Yeah, I don't know here because I don't know how the whole thing works. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Slasher's telling me that it was basically just to fuck with people. That's what he's saying. As far as I'm aware of, I don't think Punisher ever made any public comments or ever responded to any comments. At least not to Kotaku, he didn't respond to anything. But yeah, I guess maybe it was literally just to fuck with people. Slasher always says that, or also says there is an actual Ellie who's friends/girlfriends with Punisher and was helping him through the whole thing. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. Slasher says he has the exclusive. Wait, am I allowed to say your name on this? Maybe I shouldn't have said his name. Sorry. But yeah, apparently, maybe he's going to publish something other. But apparently he said Punisher's literally was just doing it to fuck with people. So.
Gotcha. I got another person here actually saying that he wasn't picked up by contenders because he wasn't good enough as a guy, but under the premise of being a girl, it was a little more lucrative to be picked up at that point. So, but again, I don't know if that's conclusive or not, though. But that's interesting if that actually was the case. But yeah, social experiment, LOL. So, yeah, just a little bit frustrating seeing this whole thing go down here.
That if that's actually true, fuck, I should have waited until he fucking released the shit. But if that's actually true, that he got rejected from joining, but then under playing the same playstyle or whatever under a woman's name was accepted, that's actually kind of interesting if that's true, right? That could kind of show some.
Yeah, there's definitely because I mean every league wants more. You want more diversity. You want more girls in there. I'm thinking back here, right? To do I want to? I don't know if I want to bring up StarCraft 2 lore into this here, but Scarlet, right? Wasn't Scarlet? What things did Scarlet go through in her climb to competitive top tier StarCraft?
What about? Wait, what's your specific question about Scarlet? Like,
just in general, the whole like the appeal of having I say appeal, but like I don't know what am I trying to get at here right now? That any league would want females just because like it helps the.
I think it's a little different though when it comes to StarCraft because like you can pick up players and it's whatever. It's generally you don't view in StarCraft, or at least people wouldn't view it as like if one player gets picked up, you're costing another player a spot. Whereas on team sports, that is how it's viewed, right?
You know what? You're right. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm making a very invalid point. I apologize. Yeah. You're right. It's a whole different thing of team dynamics.
Well, I mean, like it's still a valid point, but yeah, I think the dynamic is a lot different because on a team game, you really do feel like someone can be picked and then you get not picked and it fucks you because it's not like there's another whole team that you can just jump on, Whereas in StarCraft, you can just pick up individuals. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Some people in chat are saying the Ellie account hit a higher rank than Punisher's main ever did recently, for your information, but
Yeah, but well, I guess I can't say. I mean, could that have also been like scripted though as well? Like to like have
he scripted getting better at the game?
Or scripting, I'm saying scripting sandbagging, but maybe I don't know.
Oh, you're saying like people like feeding or inting or some shit in games?
Yeah, there could be like a how far advanced was the social experiment conducted, quote unquote. But I mean, I'm not here to like to defend that though.
I don't know. Maybe we'll revisit in a week and see what all comes out about it and everything.
Yeah.
Instead of the hardcore speculation, but yeah. This is boring. Did you watch the Trump address last night? Our obligatory politics topic?
No. I didn't watch it. I was busy streaming. Sorry in advance about that. But I can only imagine. Like I can guess what it was. Herder, fear mongering. We need the wall. We need the wall now. And I don't know. Did he actually declare a state of
No, he
emergency?
didn't do anything. It's fuck. There's not even anything to talk about. It was basically just more of the same. We need a wall. The government shutdown is going to keep going until we get the wall and protect Americans and dumb shit. I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty boring.
Well, can we talk about at least the repercussions that are coming? Because if I recall correctly, here now we're on day 18 of the government shutdown. We're on fast track for having the all-time record, which I think was from 1995, because it was 21 days back then. Is there any complications that are going to come here that are going to get really, really dire if this goes on for much longer that you can think about?
It's hard to say. I don't know. Like you said, I think it was 95. There was like a 22 or 21 day government shutdown, and then we're coming up on that now. I have heard people complain about, like, so for instance, like the IRS, I think if you're trying to get a refund processed or whatever, I think they're functioning at like 15% of their staff. So you're not going to get a refund or it's going to be super delayed, until that happens.
I could think of a couple things, actually. So you're right. IRS is going to get a big delay.
There was a
The
story
TSA
about one of the federal parks. I guess certain trees being kind of like vandalized or not having park workers there to clean up and shit. And one of those parks is going to have to shut down because their Joshua trees or whatever is getting fucked. I've heard things about like welfare benefits, like food stamp funding and whatnot. There's a lot of stuff that could potentially get fucked as well. Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit going on. Yeah.
Yeah, food stamps, particularly SNAP. It runs on it requires like I think 4.5 billion per month to operate, and they have like a reserve of 3 to 5 billion. But they're going to be running out of that pretty soon if they don't get turned back on. You're right. The national parks are another thing because there's no workers being paid or employed to take care of who's coming out of those national parks. So you have I don't know if it's all like homeless people or what, but people are just going in the parks en masse, and there is any toilets, any trash cans or bins are all overfilled, overshitted in, and it's really, really bad from what I've heard. You have TSA agents because they're running at a reduced staff capacity now. I don't know again how much of them are working on like a reserve fund or if it's like or what, but I have heard some people saying that at the airports now you're seeing like a third of the typical TSA agents currently. So if you're traveling anytime soon, yeah, you're gonna do some TSA shenanigans at this point until it gets kicked back on from the government. There is what's the other thing here too? I mentioned just federal workers right now. I think at this point now, you're for federal workers, your first paycheck is not going to come at this point because you've been out of work for 17, 18 days now.
Yeah, so for the like the 50% of Americans or whatever who live paycheck to paycheck, that's going to be
bills getting not paid. You're no check, bills not getting paid.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was way off. 78% of full-time workers say they live paycheck to paycheck. So yikes, that's going to be pretty shitty if you're a government employee and you're kind of waiting to get paid and it's just not coming. Yeah, damn.
Yeah, I just don't know. And if I recall correctly here, Mitch McConnell could he's not the one who can I guess do something about it, like facilitate things rather than decide with Trump.
Well, the problem is that Trump has said that he will veto anything that doesn't include funding for the wall. This is like the big problem with I think a lot of this is like originally I think Pence was the go-between and had gotten deals okayed from Trump and then gotten a deal okayed from Congress and then went back to Trump and Trump was like, hey, fuck off. And actually like stabbed like Pence in the back and made him look really bad because the deals that he was going to Congress with that he said it'll be cool if we can do this, like Trump wasn't accepting. And yeah,
I wonder if that's like the situation I can think of here where if I recall correctly, when the shutdown was getting threatened, Democrats actually caved in and gave him 2.5.
Well, yeah, they which was astoundingly fucking stupid to me. I'm actually so upset just reading that the Democrats were willing to meet in the middle and even give that much, and I can't believe that Trump didn't jump on that because the optics for that seems so fucking good that he would have been able to get $2.5 billion from Democrats for the fucking wall in exchange for I think like DACA shit or whatever. Like I couldn't even fucking believe that. A lot of people in chat are bringing up the idea that Republicans could do it with a supermajority, but man, having to steamroll your president that way looks so fucking bad politically. Like holy shit. Yeah.
So that's where we are right now with that. He did an address. Like you said, boring. We're on day 18. I don't know how far it's gonna go here, but yeah, dude, you're gonna see food stamp supplies on run out. You're already seeing a lot of others get affected right now. I don't know. We'll see how far it goes. Not to mention, there's another thing here too. As far as like, I mean, I don't know. You're right. It's kind of boring here. I don't want to argue over the optics of like the wall, but like they're calling for the wall when in reality most of the drugs come in from the checkpoints, whether it be like failed inspections from vehicles or trailers that are smuggling in stuff. If that's like their dire concern is the illegal drugs coming in.
Yeah, I don't know if people think that like it's like all the Fast and the Furious, where they're literally just like driving cars like through the desert in order to like get them to the United States. But like a lot of these just come in via normal shipments, like hidden on trucks and shit. Also, a lot of times being delivered via sea and air now too. Like the whole wall thing is just real fucking dumb. I agree that we need to do something about drugs.
We have like drones that can carry like 70-pound packages and travel like double the speed they have now in 50 years. The wall's gonna be like so archaic and like non-effective on enforcing anything whatsoever. But yeah, the point I was gonna get to though is that drugs are coming in through the checkpoint ports. And if anything, you'd want to see, if you want to enforce that kind of the problems you're having with right now, or whatever, you'd want to see investment on technology that would have like, I don't know, like super X-ray radiation where you can just see the drugs through scanning, right? Like you want intelligent scanning. I don't think you really need a wall if you want to.
We don't need a wall. We need a dome.
Right? Yeah. We need
to cover the entirety of the United States.
Yeah. Keep out all the icky people, right? Just keep it all, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, can we please kill this analogy where like every time I hear this, such a childish fucking analogy. Like, you build a wall, you have a door to keep people out of your house, don't you? So we should get a wall to keep people out of our country. Really? Yeah, Trump said it last night in his address. He used that same analogy. And it's like, these are disanalogous. Like, letting somebody into a country is not the same as, like, letting someone into your fucking house. Like, these are very, 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 very different types of things. But, oh, God, it's a meme argument that I can't even believe, like, people still unironically say it, but...
That's like some Facebook meta shit right there. Like, this will get a lot of upvotes or whatever, thumbs up on my Facebook wall.
Yeah.
I don't even. Ugh. All right. Well, yeah, that's all I got for you there. There was a segment on CNN where a guy like I don't know what the dude's name was, but he lost his shit over the whole like between him. It's like I think I look on. I'm sorry. Charlie Kirk drives me insane. This guy on CNN drove me insane.
Charlie Kirk? Do you know anything? He's the guy that does a lot of the PragerU stuff. That guy is fucking insane. He is so fucking stupid. My dream. He's like within reach for me to debate too. One day I'm gonna fucking get in front of this guy. He's such a piece of shit, and he's so fucking stupid.
He's so fucking bad, dude.
Oh my God.
He was like, dude, his I saw one tweet from like a mutual who like was replying to one of his tweets, and I thought, okay, this guy, I know he's like a little bit out there, but I'm like, okay, cool. I'll this tweet's pretty terrible. I'll engage in it or whatever. I'll like read into what he's saying. And then I find out his entire timeline is 24/7 propaganda for the wall. Like it's like 24/7. It's the Democrats' fault. But what the fuck do you mean? But before the midterms, you guys had like majority and everything. Like, why didn't you get the wall passed then? Why are you blaming Democrats now? Like now that
it's crazy how ineffective the Republicans have been controlling so much of the government. What the fuck? Where was our healthcare replacement? You know,
the healthcare. Right?
They couldn't even repeal the ACA. They only got rid of the mandate. Like, yeah, what the fuck? I can't believe how ineffective the Republicans have been in Congress. It's actually amazing to me. It's unbelievable. Holy shit.
Who would have knew healthcare is so complicated?
Yeah. Oh, I can't even believe.
the famous quote, right? Oh my God, dude. But yeah, he's just another like Koch brothers bot shill hack. Dude, it's I actually wanted to gag. We're going through his Twitter timeline. It's so bad, dude.
Yeah.
Like, but anyways, that's like another whatever. It's not even worth covering.
Yeah. We could do a whole episode on Turning Point and the whole PragerU shit, but. The next this should have been like the second or third topic. This is a pretty maybe not. There's not too much to say. You read about the Blizzard employee that leaves due to racial abuse.
Yeah. What's his name here? His name is Jules. Saying his name right? But yeah, we have a guy here who had a pretty viral tweet here. 2K retweets, 4K likes. Real reason why I left Blizzard Entertainment: racial abuse and discrimination. So we have yet another person saying that the environment at Blizzard now is toxic and not good. Another big PR disaster for Blizzard now.
Yeah, although on this one, reading this guy's story, initially I kind of like glanced through this. Like I'd heard about this a while ago, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess the company doing some fucked up shit or whatever. That sucks. But looking into this article, this dude was super fucking mentally disturbed. Holy shit. Like he like ends the article, or he ends his tweet longer with like a suicide attempt. It's like it's very clear in reading this that the person is like a whole host of kind of like mental issues. Like this guy is talking about like popping Xannies daily to deal with like panic attacks and shit.
Yeah.
The whole story reads
at peak, by the way, at peak, 3 different medications for anxiety
Sure.
and depression.
The story reads like it's like the perfect like incel fodder where the guy's like, I'm being bullied because they're saying that I'm being misogynistic just for being Hispanic, blah blah blah. So like it fits that narrative really well. Like, oh look, women are ruining the workplace by faking saying that men are hating women just because of their race and they're the real racists. Like, I don't know, dude. Like reading that whole thing was like super yikes territory. And there was like so much unnecessary information included in it, and just so many questionable decisions. Like yikes. I feel really bad for what happened, but it's really hard for me because of even just the way that he presented it to take him at his word, because it's clear, even reading his version, that he is like insanely mentally disturbed. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, honestly, okay, so just a context for y'all over here. Like, okay, so he did a tweet longer attached to that tweet that went viral. And let me just what's the character count here? This thing is so long, dude. It's so much bloat to even digest, like what's like vital to know versus what's miscellaneous here. 25,000 characters this paste bin, and it's like you have to kind of like slodge through like a lot of stories here and there to get to the and try to take the meat of like ultimately here that he was cheated out of a few opportunities at Blizzard, and then he had a supervisor that kind of like fucked him over. Again, all his words here, who fucked him over and claimed that he not only was he not the reason that the particular thing he was working on, the project of getting more attendees to attend esports events for Blizzard, but that he was also that he was the toxic one who didn't contribute anything to the work environment. So yeah, typical case here. I say typical, but I mean typical in my experience. Typical case of corporate opportunistic backstabbing, where you did a thing that looks good, cool, I'm gonna take all credit for it, then fuck you over and push you somewhere else aside. And that he was already, again, like you said before, having stressful stresses and anxiety attacks, and then it escalated to where he had to go for he had to get what's it called, workplace leave, workman's comp, or medicated leave or something.
Isn't
like
it?
that.
I think it's called in our corporate environment at the casino we called it FMLA, family or medical leave of absence is what we called it.
Yeah, there you go, leave of absence. Yeah, that's what he called the thing here. I mean, and when he came back, he got the thing you wait for, and I think in a typical corporate environment, you wait for the your year-end review, right, where they review your metrics and what you've contributed, and like whether or not you, I guess, either get a raise or move departments or whatever it may be. And from what it seems like here, he didn't get his 2016 review, which would happen, at the end of 2016 / early 2017. He didn't get his 2016 review until August 2017, at which point, again, his boss kind of like slammed him down by saying that, yeah, I'm only going to focus on your negatives here of when you left and abandoned your team and let them down, rather than all the shit you should have did. And this is all trivial, obviously, because it gets to a very loony point with the whole the attempted suicide and the medicines he was taking all the time and some other crazy shit. But yeah, the corporate environment being really toxic at Blizzard doesn't surprise me. Can we talk about that for a second, actually?
Yeah, if you want to.
Get to, because ever since here's the whole thing, right? Ever since Activision merged or was acquired, or however, I forget what order, who did what here, but whenever Activision and Blizzard merged, and they promised that things wouldn't change, that this wouldn't change the Blizzard culture, I called out. Now, mind you, I'm a little bit familiar with Activision here. I called out a million, I guess we'll call it now, 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, 10 years ago, that, yeah, dude, this is like, it's gonna change, dude. Like, as long as if you got Bobby Kotick within a shouting distance of anyone over at Blizzard, dude, it's gonna be revenue drive first and fuck the culture. You guys got a lucrative, you guys have a lucrative culture here at Blizzard, where you guys are very active in talking with your communities and having them, advocate for whatever platforms you want to move on to next. Well, cool. Well, I wanna milk those people because they're gullible wallets walking around here. Let's fucking go. And so it's just sad to see that how many things, how far the mighty have come here. And this is even before the whole Diablo a mobile thing,
Hmm.
a mobile immortal, whatever it's called.
Do you think? What do you think? Like, what other bad impacts do you think Activision has had on the acquisition of Blizzard? It's really hard. I feel like it's really hard to say how much you can blame on the acquisition versus just Blizzard itself. Like, if you
Well,
point to like the recent I don't want to say the failing of Blizzard games because that's kind of extreme, but like there's a lot of people disappointed in WoW now. You know, StarCraft 2 kind of fettered out. Obviously, Heroes of the Storm is being
okay.
rolled into the
So
classic games and shit. So
let me see here. So you first thing you have is well, okay, so Bobby Kotick, while he was like when he became the thing at I mean he single-handedly like almost killed an entire genre. Let's get that out of the way real quick here. At Activision when he was there, you saw Guitar Hero milked to such an extreme that instrument peripheral based rhythm games died a horrible fucking death. Like to the point even where like Rock Band 3 and 4, despite them being like critically acclaimed, still couldn't sell because of the saturation was so extreme from Guitar Hero during Activision's time.
don't you think that's kind of like standard though? Like there was a popular game and it got released and people fucking loved the fuck out of it for years and then it kind of came and went as a fad. Like,
I guess maybe, but like maybe I'm sensitive because I worked at GameStop at the time. So I worked at GameStop for those 4 years. Again, anecdote, so I apologize here, but I saw like, dude, there was so much, man. We sat on so much inventory for Guitar Hero, Band Hero, Guitar Hero Rock the '80s. It was just like every 3 months was another thing they're just throwing out there, dude. It never fucking ended, to me at least. But maybe I can't. I have to like look into a bigger like meta discussion to be had about like the typical the tendencies of like product cycles. But I felt like particularly Guitar Hero got milked to fucking oblivion. I remember the reception of Guitar Hero 1 and 2 being pretty great. And then 3 was like, okay. And then from there just kept going and going and going and going. And it's like, I'm not sure if rhythm games are able to be afforded that yearly sequel cycle that things like Madden
Call of
carry.
Duty and shit comes out like every fucking year, right? And it still seems to do
Yeah,
pretty
but
well.
it's pretty volatile though, I would say, right? I guess I don't know. That's a love-hate thing though for me, I would say. I don't know, because like I remember at a point in 2009 where like we're getting 3 maps for one DLC for $15 was controversial. I was like, wow, you only get 3 maps for 15 fucking dollars in Modern Warfare 2. Holy shit, Kodak, slow down now. People bought it up. Then the schemes get further and further and further, and now here we are now where Black Ops 4 had no single player campaign, and that was okay. I don't know, I keep seeing more and more, and then now the
That's pretty insane to me that game came out with no campaign because they
No
charge
camp-
full price for a multiplayer game. That's pretty crazy to me. Yeah.
and then like the newest scheme was the so there was praise because Black Ops 4 had no microtransactions upon its initial release. And then the written word reviews come out. Okay, yeah, it has no single player campaign, but let's be real, they're all playing it for the online multiplayer. So we'll let that slide. But hey, they claim their act. No microtransactions. And then as soon as Metacritic is done and all the written word is out from all the publications about the praising of that, 1 month later, they turn on all the shit, dude. And it's like, it looks like a free mobile game of model of shill and garbage everywhere in your $60 MSRP Call of Duty game, and it's just everywhere, dude. So they knew what they were doing, man. They did that dirty, man. They just wait for the written word to come out, then they just put it right back to where they want for all their bread and butter for the revenue generators. So yeah, dude, just Bobby Kodak's just a slimy weasel, lizard, something. I don't know. Insert metaphor of choice here. So knowing that he's anywhere within shouting distance of Blizzard, who has like a very lucrative culture to be corrupted and to be abused, doesn't surprise me. Now, as for what things concern me about Blizzard, well, I feel like Blizzard, right there, they have been very prolific on releasing a game, quote unquote, when it's ready, when it's perfect. Like when a Blizzard releases a game, whether it be a sequel or whatever, it's an epic event. And I feel like the idea of the yearly expansions. I remember that was a common complaint here. I could be wrong about this here, but the common complaint from the WoW crowd was that there just wasn't a lot to do, and then to kind of like, and that Blizzard was kind of like scraping the ground to figure out more things to throw at the next expansion every year. And It might have been just more than that though. I think it's a conversation that would be more qualified to have like I don't know Asmongold on or someone else who's really big in the WoW. But the complaints I've heard here, yeah, WoW has not been the same. Player base has been dropping for a long time now, and there's been, I mean, just a solid at this point now, honestly, a solid decade of complaining about like how the game's not what it used to be. So, you have that. You have what was the other thing here too? Is it fair for me to can I complain on Overwatch too? Because like I'm not even an Overwatch player, but whenever the whole like Tracer is homosexual and that's like super progressive. That to me was just like I mean, I am definitely more for gay representation, or even just representation in general in media. I think it's a great thing. But that to me seemed like a super PR move right there.
So I understand the argument for this, especially now with the Soldier 76 thing as well, that they seem like PR arguments. One thing that I have to be really careful of here, though, and that I would urge the same thing, is I think that when we think of things as PR, not only like I think it can reveal some underlying biases that we have. So for instance, if we are watching a video or something and it's revealed that like a past person had like a girlfriend or something, then we kind of think like, okay, yeah, whatever, who cares? But if we find out that the character was gay, all of a sudden, because it doesn't fit like our expectations of what we'd expect somebody to be, well, now it has to be a PR move. And I try to be really careful with that, because if you apply that same thinking in real life, it fails hardcore, right? So like people will see somebody like Tracer or Soldier 76, and we hear all these arguments that sound good, like okay, well, like if a character is going to be gay, like you need a good story reason for it to be gay. Like why would you just have this character being gay for no reason? Like are you trying to score points at her? And it's like, okay, but in real life, people aren't usually gay for a reason. Like people just are, So like if it comes out as part of a person's backstory that somebody happens to be gay or trans or whatever other fucking shit, that's like it. I think our default reaction, because it's not the norm, is to think that like, oh, well, like what the fuck is the reason for this? But I think that kind of reveals like an underlying part of our thought process that maybe should be changed, where it's like, oh, well, actually, wait, hold on. I guess this person could just be gay. I just assume everybody is straight. And if they're not, that like is a little jarring to me,
Okay.
And then for Overwatch, I mean, like, none of it is like, so I take issue with being compared to the Dumbledore stuff, and some people disagree with me on this, but like the Dumbledore stuff bothered me because the story and everything to Harry Potter is very important, and I thought that the story implications for him being a lover to Grindelwald or whatever, I thought that was something that I would have liked to have seen elaborated on a little bit in the stories, and people will claim because there's one sentence about them traveling together that it actually was kind of hinted at, but like I feel like that would have been somewhat relevant, but for Overwatch lore, I mean, like the game is already like a multiplayer game with no single player, and like revealing little tidbits of lore through comics is like whatever, whether they're gay or trans, or I don't know if it matters as much if that's revealed through the lore,
All right, I guess I just can't like maybe I felt because I felt something more for was it Ellie in Last of Us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I don't know, maybe I'm just comparing one medium to the other, and I'm like, yeah, I wish this was like. I wish maybe because I'm passionate about representation, I wish it was like taken a little bit more seriously, or not like done like some like random backstory. Maybe my critique would be in that more so, because I feel like Last of Us like really.
And again, I understand.
And
I understand that thing, but again, like, and it sounds really weird. I guess like maybe the way that I would try to phrase this to make it more personal is like you find out that some guy has a backstory, or how would you feel, I guess, if somebody had a backstory and then like in a quick thing there's like a picture of him hanging out with his best friend and his best friend was black and everybody is like writing it like, I don't understand why you would give him a black best friend. Like, I mean, like he's white, it makes more sense that he'd be friends with a white person. Like it just seems kind of weird that like it seems like you're scoring brownie points to say that like he would have like a best friend that's black. And like I imagine like the response would be like, okay, well hold on, like who the fuck cares if he had a black best friend? Like why does it matter that much? And I think that like as somebody that might be gay, I think the feeling would be similar. It's like, oh, okay, well we just found out that a person happened to be gay. Like, why is it a big deal? Why does this need further justification? Why do you have to write this in as a big thing? Like, why couldn't that just be the way the character is?
Fair point. You're right. What you're bringing here is actually very correct. I can't comment on that one any further. You're right. My disgust of Activision goes very, very deep.
Yeah, I understand.
You're right.
And a lot of Blizzard people probably feel the same with Blizzard as well,
Yeah, I'm just thinking maybe like just some. You're right. I can envision here there's some dudes out in the marketing department being like, yeah, we need we can get where more wallets are, the LGBTQ at. So let's go ahead and give them something here, and then they give that assignment to the writing department, and then at that point, when there's no risk involved to having an openly gay character, is when they move forward with it.
Sure. I think the thing that makes it difficult is people feel like the reason why people feel like it's being done for brownie points is probably because when every character comes out, because of the way society works, we just assume every single character is like heteronormative, straight, like binary, whatever. Like there's just that assumption is being made. So when a comic or lore is released, it feels like we're retconning. Like, wait a second, Soldier 76 can't be gay because you always assumed he was straight. But it's like you never really had a reason to assume that. That's just like why you're just like, oh, he must be because he is, because you never think anything different.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe I should also I skimmed the comic, but obviously I'm not savvy in Overwatch, so I can't comment any further on if I thought it was well done. I hear it was well done though, the comic itself for Tracer.
Yeah, sure. And then also, to be fair, it could be a PR move as well. Like they could have been like, oh, we want to increase it, much like I'm sure there was a lot of thought that went into like doing like a movie about the Black Panther.
There's that's two big conglomerates coming together, dude. That's why I find it so hard to. Maybe my anti-corporation just really showing hard on that one was just like, okay, dude.
Sure.
Like,
although, and again, but to be fair though, just because something's a PR move doesn't necessarily make it bad as well, right? Like there are a lot of PR moves where people are like, hey, like in Chipotle, I think when you go to Chipotle, they always have it listed like these are like our whatever is sourced like in ethically good ways or whatever, or like Starbucks does it like, oh, we only do whatever coffee, free bean coffee or whatever the fuck it's called, and those are PR moves as well, but they could arguably be good things,
Well, on that note, can you tell me, because all right, so here's the thing I'm completely not to know about, because again, I don't know Overwatch that well, but what's this whole thing about 76, this character who's now, that happened this week, right? There's a guy.
There's a comic released, and I think like in the comic, in like one frame, there's like a picture frame of him talking about like an old boyfriend or something, and I think that was it.
Now, who's he? Who's 76? Is it like a cowboy with a pistol or whatever, or like what a
Soldier 76 is a soldier guy. I mean, he's one of the characters you play in Overwatch. He's like the most like straight I was gonna say straight shooter. Ironic. He plays like a normal FPS. Like he's got like a rifle that shoots a lot, and like his ult like lets you home in and shoot at people, and I think he throws like a healing thing and whatever. But like he's just like one of the characters in Overwatch you can play. Yeah.
He's a straight shooter, huh?
Yeah, no, I guess not. Yeah.
All right. Well, but yeah, he's this guy is back to the person here though, Jules. Yeah, he's a little bit definitely needs some therapy. Has a lot of things going on here. So I'm just sad to see that it was amplified further by what's undoubtedly to me a really a questionable environment to work in, to say the least.
Oh, maybe yeah. It's just hard to tease out because like he said it all as like a harassment thing. Or like a whatever, a racist thing, because apparently that woman was going out on him being Mexican, which may be true. I don't know. It's hard to say. Fuck, reading his story, it looks so bad. But like this kind of echoes a lot of what I've said about like the game industry. Like working for a game developer in general is really brutal. These are like some of the most brutal fucking software dev jobs or industry jobs you can get. Like there's a fuck ton of crunch time. The pay is not as competitive as other types of software engineering jobs. And like, these jobs are very fucking high stress, crazy fucking jobs. And if you're not like a certain type of person, if you're not like super built for that kind of thing, I could see you getting overwhelmed very fucking easily. And even if you are, these people, still get overwhelmed.
Yeah. That's the one thing I'm glad you actually brought this up here. That's the one thing I do want to say is it seems more common than I would like it to be, and that's the crunch culture, man. Like he's talking about here how he regularly did what is this here, 60 to 80 hour work weeks, sometimes over 100 hours under certain conditions. And I've heard similar things about a lot of places, dude. EA had the similar thing going on for, I forgot what game. Was it Mass Effect 3? I forget which game under EA's division had like the big lawsuit for crunch labor. Maybe it was Infinity Ward under Activision for Modern Warfare 3. I forget which one it was, honestly. But one of those two had a big lawsuit over crunch culture. And then most recently here we've had Rockstar under Take-Two for Red Dead Redemption 2 have crunch culture, and then I guess what you want to call effort shaming, because like if you find that the workload is too irresponsible or too unhealthy or whatever, whenever you take on a Rockstar game, did you hear about this, by the way? If you eject from the production of any game under Rockstar before the end of when they want you there, you get your name removed from the credits. Like they try to
Damn.
shame you into staying. Like don't leave. Like this is part of you too, which seems a little bit yikes, a little bit questionable there, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But
Someone
you
in
hear about
chat
this
is
stuff,
pointing out. I haven't heard that you get dumped from the credits. That's pretty insane. Someone in chat is saying that the visual effects industry in films has an insane crunch culture as well. I imagine that like any of those, like the intersection between doing something in tech versus something that's like art is always probably going to be ultra fucking brutal in terms of like competition and workload and whatnot. I've heard similar things about like studio musicians, you know, like the people that play jingles and shit for commercials are like the most talented fucking musicians in the world. That like these are people where like you walk in for certain gigs, you give them like a sheet of music and like they will fucking sight read or play down anything instantly in a variety of fucking styles, in a variety of ways, across a variety of instruments perfectly the first fucking time on the first. Like these are like the most talented people in the world, and that their pay is not what you would necessarily expect for somebody that has like that level of talent and shit. And I imagine that all of that is probably true for any like entertainment plus, you know, skilled industry.
Can you wait? Can you elaborate that again for me here? So you're saying the people who do jingles for commercials?
For just basically like session or studio musicians, like the people that would be hired to do like film scores, or that would play like anything for like commercials or advertisements or whatever, or that like basically you would go to a studio and be like, hey, like I need this piece of music played or whatever, and you'd grab some of these guys, and these people are insanely fucking talented.
So
these
they're
guys
super
are so
malleable.
good.
They can like
Yeah, you have to be. Yeah, of course. Yeah, because the more you can do,
Wow.
the more applications you can fit. Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. I've heard about that. You know what's funny though? I've also heard. So this is like kind of a little minor tangent here, but while they are super versatile, I've also heard that these because what's come to mind for me now are the trailer voice people, the epic movie voice.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like I hear it's actually a huge monopoly, and that they also they alternatively make a killing doing that. I don't know. It's not really relevant right now. But
Isn't there like one guy who does a lot of that? Like the guy
I hear
that
it's like
has...
three. I heard it's like three guys. It's like three guys, and
Okay.
the most popular one is like an older gentleman, like in his 60s, and he's so good at what he does that he mandates that everyone's like he'll pile up with like 60 different gigs and just knock them all out in one session at a recording studio in LA.
Mm-hmm.
There was a YouTube video about him. I forgot what his name is though, but like that guy makes like millions a year from what I hear, like because he's just that good. And you can really tell too, because it's the kind of thing where you can't like you hear him do a voice and then you hear anyone else and they're nowhere near as epic as the top guy does it right now.
Oh shit! Apparently, the guy I'm talking about died. A couple of years ago. Well, rip.
So but yeah, it's like irrelevant to the point you were getting at here though about the crunch culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks a little out here though. I hope things work out better. Do we have any official response from Blizzard yet? Because the tweet in question here happened 2 days ago. He came out with this around midnight on January 7th. So it's been a day and a half. Has Blizzard acknowledged anything here? Do we know anything about that?
I don't think so. I feel like I would have heard if Blizzard had actually responded to this.
Yeah. So
I don't know if
interesting.
they
We'll see
will.
what
But...
happens. Yeah, probably. What do they gain by even giving it more publicity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just shove it under the rug, probably. So, well, okay. So we covered all that. That was a pretty action-packed news week, I would say.
Yeah, kind of. Really, I feel like it was a little lighter on the...
Yeah.
But...
Maybe I feel we're getting better at the pacing of it because we were. I just feel like there was like less downtime and more chunky meat.
Sure. Reddit questions?
Yeah. Let's do some Reddit questions.
Oh fuck.
Let me poke on in here and see.
It's California time, man. Have you do you go out a lot? Do you have like people that you hang out with or anything in real life, or do you normally stay in all the time?
Yeah, I got friends.
Well, that wasn't like a personal attack. I wasn't like going in like, hey, you fucking neat piece of shit. Do you ever get out of the fucking house, you virgin fuck?
Dude, okay. Well, hang on. Let me just clarify that. So I have friends. Do I go outside regularly?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I do go outside regularly. I do because I go to the gym and I work out 3 times a week. But here's the thing, right? So I shaved. I had to add some facial hair. I had a beard. I did a clean shave. After growing a beard for like a full year, like last November,
Mm-hmm.
and I had those I had like a two-tone face. Like I was pale, and where my facial hair would normally grow for like half a year straight, and I thought, okay, yeah, not a big deal. It's gonna you know even out in tone because I go outside, right? It
Mm-hmm.
didn't actually. It's still noticeably paler than my regular non hair face skin complexion. So my conclusion here is that I don't go outside often enough apparently to have a balanced facial skin tone. So
Gotcha.
apparently I don't go outside, though I do have friends. So
Okay, cool. One of the things I was worried about for coming to California was that in Nebraska, obviously, I never fucking went out because I don't have any fucking friends or anybody in like Nebraska that does anything that I do. You know, I've got like Kyle was like my one real life friend, and we would go out to eat like once a year. But other than that, I didn't really have anything to do. But now that I'm in California, I've been going out like every single fucking night. And one of the things I was worried about, was that like I don't know if it'll cut into my stream shit if I start getting too social. So.
Look at you making friends. It's pretty cool. Well, then again, though, you know what it is too, though. Like if you're out in Nebraska, it's like where are the overlaps with the with like the Twitch culture, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I mean. There's like no one there that I know at all. Whereas here, there's like a ton of fucking people everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's I'm sorry, I want to go into like a minor tangent about that because I came across a massive realization just even like 2 months ago on my stream.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about how I think at nature I'm introverted because I've never been one to want to go to like a typical like I don't want to call it normie bar, but go to like a typical normie bar where it's like people drinking shit, and it's like to me like a bar or a nightclub they exhaust me. I feel like I have to put on a show or put on like some kind of facade to like engage with everyone there because I don't know what the fuck to talk about because I'm not really a big drinker and I'm not really a big nightclub bar person thing, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't understand. So I feel like it was draining my social battery whenever I'm in those situations, particularly before I was a streamer and I was like a regular like waiter, and I'd go out with my waiter friends because they were like, oh man, you never go out, you fucking pussy. Come out with us, bro. And then I would go out with them, and they'd want to give me like shit faced, and then I'm like clearly past buzz. I'm like partially drunk and just not really enjoying it. Well, anyways, though, it came to my realization though that I would tell them how I hated those normal outings, but I really enjoyed the Twitch parties. Mm-hmm. Whenever I go to PAX West or PAX Prime or TwitchCon, I go to those parties. I go to the Discord party where I'm around other streamers. There's a lot of like mutuals, and we all have obvious overarching things we can talk about. Dude, it's phenomenal. Like I want to drink. I'm having a great time, and it's so obvious to me, but I didn't realize it. Someone told me, you know how you feel when you're at a Discord party or a Twitch party or any kind of streamer gathering? That's how all the regular people feel when they go to a regular bar or nightclub. And I was like, I didn't realize that until like this year. I'm an idiot.
It's an interesting way of looking at it. Yeah, I don't think I could do like the drinking every night thing. Even I guess my cat. Well, I don't know what the point of drinking is if you don't get like real drunk. I guess people like being buzzed or whatever. Is that?
Makes them feel good. I don't know. I'm not a.
If I drink, it's to get fucked up. I don't know. I've never understood the point of just being buzzed, or it doesn't seem like enjoyable to me. So fuck it. But I don't think I could do that every single night. Like drinking, I guess is fun, like occasionally, but generally just like hanging out and chatting with people or getting food or doing stuff like that.
It's more about people I'm around. Like I can't. This like the whole idea of I'm home alone. I have no friends. I'm gonna order a pizza for myself and then chug like a 6-pack of beer. Like to me that seems really weird. Like I can't imagine. Drinking alone seems really weird to me.
Yeah, if you're not like an alcoholic, I don't know why you would.
Yeah,
but that's just me. I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know. You can ask chat here. What's more depressing, ordering a pizza for yourself, or like alone, or drinking by yourself? Which one's worse? Mm-hmm. Or are they both like the same thing?
Well, wait. No, wait. Hold on. I'm sorry. What's wrong with ordering a pizza by yourself? Wait, what?
Oh, this is like it was kind of like a shit post here, like
okay,
because like it's a shit post under the idea that a pizza is a social food, like it's not something to be ordering a pizza for yourself.
The guy shows up at your house and you get like one small pizza and like a 2-liter Sprite. You're like, thanks, dude. Yeah, I can understand.
It's just you, like
Okay.
So that's the shit post though. It's not a serious thing. Like I mean, I'm not mad at it. Like hypothetically here, if I was going to like binge out and I don't know, like watch like Lord of the Rings 1 through 3, like. Hell yeah, I'd order a pizza. And I'd fucking kill the whole thing over an 8-hour sitting. Like, I don't give a fuck. So I don't blame you on that one. It's just kind of it was a funny little shit post.
Okay.
It's a little thing I did in chat. And chat got triggered whenever I said that because I was like, I was putting a little social experiment on them, see if they would get
A little
triggered.
social experiment. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna remember that one.
Yeah, it was my terminology right there. So, but okay, yeah. So, but yeah, you've been going out in LA, and then you've been having a great time. Is that correct?
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Dude, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
You know, it was fun. It's funny about though is that I can think of a similar comparison with when I was right. So whenever you were a manager at your restaurant and I was a waiter at my restaurant, what would happen is the work environment was so stressful that I felt like I needed a strong like after party relief activity to like come down from how fucking tilted I would get off of work because it'd be so frustrating every single night. Like I'd have like 2 walkouts over some bullshit, or I'd have like a just and it'd be mentally draining, dude, having a walkout happen because like a thing beyond your control because the food was taking too long or the food was burnt or like the recook of the reorder was still fucked up or whatever it may be. And yeah, oftentimes I would want to like I don't know, just like fucking go out or do something. I'd have to calm down. So I feel like if you get like really stressed or something like that off of streaming, like yeah, going out would be a great outlet to compensate for that.
Sure.
Not that you have that problem though, obviously.
Yeah, no, I enjoy it. What you're talking about though is am I missing phone calls? What you're talking about though is definitely real. I noticed that when I was doing traditional work, you absolutely needed like, I don't know if you would call them sanctuaries or safe places or whatever, but like if you had multiple structural foundational problems in your life, you were fucked. So like an example, this would be like at the workplace, like you had to be cool with your employees unless, because when customers start giving you shit, you have to have like that little island to retreat to where you can like talk shit. Like it's so like if you get a customer that's an asshole, it's cool as long as you got like other employees that you can kind of like fuck around with about it. Like Jesus Christ, this guy's horrible. But like I noticed like on nights where you were having problems with like employees and customers, these are like the worst fucking times of your life because the whole time there is like hell. Or if you've got like a good relationship or if you've got something fun to do at home, like as long as you have like these little areas to retreat to, for me at least that like helped a lot. Like even if I have a shit day at work, at least I can do something after that's fun or relaxing or something to like unwind or get away from it. But when multiple like institutions in your life start failing, holy shit, like that can pile up and like fuck with you so fucking quickly.
You know what? You're bringing up actually a really good point here because while I was a waiter for the most time at Chili's, there was a brief 6-month period in like 2008 where I worked at a fancy restaurant. I had heard through a friend of a friend, always a terrible idea, to that if I got out of the shithole that is casual dining and went into higher price dining, that things would get better. That things are like way better. If you can get into one of these like lucrative serving jobs at a high-end restaurant, that I would enjoy it more. Actually, no, it was super fucking terrible. I hated it. I felt like I was an adult babysitter, dude. Like the clientele there was, maybe it's a particular restaurant, but the clientele there was mega pampered. Every little thing. I mean, like the most senile. You know the episode of SpongeBob where the guy wants like a Krabby Patty, but he wants it like
cook it over medium, let it swim, medium axle grease, rotate it sideways, and don't forget the pickles.
like
Yeah.
that.
This is
Dude,
the
that
one
was
where like
every
SpongeBob goes out to check the sandwich or whatever, right? Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was that every fucking table. Dude. These guys wanted like
I want a surf and turf. I want it a medium rare, butterfly twice.
it's like all this shit that like I
don't
sure
wanna-
I can relate it.
I don't
but
want to get
can't.
into like the retail shit too much. I don't remember if I ever told you about this. I had so many customers like this. This is at like a fucking diner where the ticket price is like $10 to $20 an item, only because it was at a casino. Was it that expensive? But not like high dining shit. I remember we had this one lady that would come in, and she would order a steak Philly, and she would specifically say, "I want 6 onions, 6 green peppers, and 6 red peppers on the sandwich." And her excuse was she wanted the flavor, but she didn't want the actual peppers. And when she got her meal at the counter, she would always get it to go. She would take it out on the counter. She'd take the box out of the bag. She'd open the box. She'd get a napkin. She would start picking out the peppers one at a time. And if there was one too many or one too few, she would send it back and ask for a recook. Yep. So like we would send these tickets back to the kitchen, and like I totally empathize with the cooks here. They would look at the servers with such a look of disgust because on the ticket you would have to write 6 green peppers, 6 red peppers, 6 onions only. And like if it was a new cook, they like look like, the fuck, what are you fucking asking for? Like holy shit, yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'm sorry. You're right. I don't. We'll have to have like another retail round too. I don't
Yeah,
wanna be
maybe,
real.
yeah.
Because now I can think of a story I could tell too about this shit. But I digress. The point is, actually, fuck. What was the point actually? Oh, I didn't have your sanctuary. The environment you brought up here about like at my regular Chili's waiting job. I had the other ways I could talk to you about the asshole at table 6 or whatever. But like at the other restaurant, I was at the Face restaurant. I had no outlet. It was just I had to like internalize all the suffering of like all these like adult man
Wait, because
children.
were the employees shit, or what do you mean?
Yeah, the employees, like, it wasn't. I was the youngest guy there, and I felt like I was in a super foreign environment. Because everyone there was like, I don't know, like fucking 45 and being a waiter. I was the youngest waiter by a wide margin. I felt like I couldn't relate. I was scared to reveal my disgust for the average clientele attitude of like the super entitlement, like to the ups. And don't get me wrong, I understand if you want your order a specific way, but it was like to the absurdness every fucking time, dude. It was it was draining, man. It was like the worst customer every day. Ugh, fuck.
Damn. It sucks that like
yeah, so I
one
had to
bad
go.
customer could like ruin a whole fucking day too.
Well, the thing too was it was kind of like a slow dining, so there wasn't like it wasn't quick turn and burns. They come in, they're out in 35 minutes, worst case. No, these typically every customer was like hour and a half. Sometimes these people would just order like and then they're getting buzzed too. Like they would order a whole bottle of wine and kill it right there, like the party in question. So yeah, every table was a slow burn. So you had to deal with their obnoxiousness for a extended period of time, and I had no outlet for it, so that kind of sucked. So yeah, it wasn't really my thing.
Yeah.
But I was just agreeing with you on the sanctuary concept, though.
Yeah, for sure.
It's also similar in GameStop too. I mean, I won't. Just want to let y'all know here that if you're obnoxious and you're in GameStop and you're being annoying as fuck, the minute you walk out, we're talking about you, definitely, because it's our only coping mechanism to deal with.
It's
your
probably
exhaustion.
true. The unfortunate thing though is that the people that are obnoxious don't usually realize it, so this will fall on deaf ears.
You're not wrong there, man. Fuck. So.
Okay. Yeah. You want to hit up Reddit questions? Were we already doing that? I don't know how we got to this topic actually.
You were telling me about you asked me if I had any friends, and I was like, yeah, I got friends, asshole.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
that's
Because I
where
thought you were
derailed.
a loser. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I'll hit up the most upvoted one. I do feel like sometimes this feels like a news podcast where you guys just summarize a bunch of recent events, give a quick, uneducated take. Why do you guys do this when you make podcasts more interesting, such unique? This is kind of something that we've talked about in the past, is that we don't have like a main hook or draw for the podcast yet, and it seems like pretty general. I acknowledge that this is definitely a thing. I don't know. I guess I'm just not sure like what our specific like hook in should be.
Yeah, definitely that too. We're still young in the game right now. I do hear you though that we kind of just scuffer over some like news related things, but I think also kind of our draw right now is the fact that you have like you have two professional streamers, me and Destiny here, like giving our POV, so you got kind of like a Twitch savvy perspective on topics that we find particularly interesting.
Yeah, although I think the
And
problem
so-
is that that leaves us pretty qualified to talk about like streaming related shit, but then outside of that, we don't really offer much that's kind of like unique or valuable insofar as a lot of news goes, which is kind of true, except for like, I guess if I talk about politics or if you get into like animation related stuff, we can go like a lot deeper in there, but there are probably other people that do that as well. At some point, I'll probably I need to spend a couple of days. I've moved, so I haven't had time, but we'll probably talk about this in detail, like figuring out like some kind of niche that we can carve out a lot more specific that would give you a reason to advertise this to somebody outside of just like people that are fans of us directly, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I agree with that. This one's kind of been asked before here, but we can maybe think it's worthwhile. Do you feel that a potential competitor to Twitch could overtake Twitch? In such case, would you consider transitioning your streams over to that site?
This is something that's been talked to death before, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, like the problem is that like it just hasn't been done. I mean, if there was a competitor that came up and got really fucking huge, I mean, like I think a lot of people consider switching, but YouTube hasn't seemed like they made the effort to do it. There's like, what did Beam become? Microsoft's new streaming platform. I don't know what it's fucking called.
Oh, Mixer.
Yeah, Mixer, and then Facebook is doing it. I mean, like, yeah, Hitbox or whatever. Like, it just seems like, yeah, I don't know. No one's like been able to step up and actually compete with Twitch in terms of user base. And until you actually get like a bunch of users on your site, nobody wants to switch because you're like killing your fucking career.
Yeah, pretty much that. A little bit more context about that as well here is the fact that one my also counter here is that X places lack culture. You don't really have culture until you have a user base, and you're not going to have the equivalent of Kappa, whatever it may be, on those ends, or you're going to simulate Twitch culture in an external environment, which is going to seem really off-putting, synthetic, and weird.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also, you've seen people try to just throw money at the problem, and then this is the reason why I don't think it's going to be easy to topple Twitch anytime soon. Not that I'm advocating for a lack of competition. I do want to see Twitch fix a lot of things, and I think competition will really get them under their ass really well. So I hope that more competition does arise here. But if you recall, when YouTube Gaming first debuted in, was it 2015, 2016? They threw, again, word of mouth here, they threw a lot of money at some big streamers for lucrative 2-year lock-in exclusive content streaming contracts. And said people decline those things. I'm talking like 7-digit numbers too, like multi-million
YouTube
dollars.
was?
Yeah.
Oh,
You hear about this?
interesting. I never heard about this. No, I've known that some other sites were doing 7-figure offers,
I
but
have to get some citation then. Let me dig back in the gap hill. We'll come back to that one because the problem is I don't want to throw out names though.
Sure.
Makes it spicy, but I don't want to throw out names.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
understand.
multi-million-dollar contracts for a 2-year exclusive agreement, and from what I heard, all of them were denied though, because it's like, yeah, I might get a fat payday now, but I'm going to be questionably irrelevant because I'm going to be just cannibalizing my own growth essentially by having loyalty to this one platform that is unproven currently. So,
do you think this is something we didn't talk about as a topic, but this is a pretty big thing? Did you ever see the live stream fail leaks? Those mod
Leaks?
logs? One of the mods quit there, and there was like a huge leaking of like a ton of live stream fail logs. Oh shit! I'm looking at my Destiny GG chat. You can click this.
Now when you say mods for live stream fails is Reddit, or you mean mods at Twitch?
Mods for live stream fails Reddit.
Okay.
That subreddit had mod leaks. Yeah. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. Let's go to our content.
Anything of noteworthy?
Yeah, I mean, there's the subreddit drama post kind of goes through a lot of stuff. But apparently, yeah, people trying to dox like Ice Poseidon mods and shit. I don't know if I should show this. I haven't like vetted these to see if any docs is actually shown or whatever. But yeah, there's apparently these people like really fucking hated Ice Poseidon. Like holy shit, like they like banned people that post like on the Ice Poseidon subreddit like without even going to live stream fail and shit. Like yeah. The whole thing, like the part that I was reading, like hardcore. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's something that actually, here's something that I saw. Fuck, I can't believe I forgot this. Apparently, the guy that runs Neat Clips is a moderator for live stream fails, and that guy will use people that post on that post clips on that site and then post it on Reddit to track people's IPs and shit. That website should be permanently banned from Reddit, 100%. I hope that goes to the admins. That site should be banned from Reddit, absolutely. Wait, that was proven false? Whoa, hold on, wait, hold on. Wait, never mind. Someone said that was proven false. Yeah, sorry. He responded saying it wasn't. Can somebody link to his response? Do you know how people were getting IP addresses of people that were posting on this thing? Because that was one of the big
contentions. What would you want that for, though? Like, what would you want the IP to like? You want the IP address of the clip posters so you can stop the clip posters? Like, what's the objective there?
I don't know. I don't know, to get information about people and whatnot, but it's one of the first responses in the thread. One particularly damning piece that has come to surface is that one of the lead moderators has some form of access to a backend, enabling him to gain IP, blah, 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 which he did and shared a person. Wait, hold on, fuck.
Yeah, doxing for the most part. Okay. Good old fashioned doxing.
Wait, so the logs in question here are from Raptor to Jesus. I'm gonna have Webman grab their IP from their uploads, and then he posts a bunch of names, Amanda, blah 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 blah. He's posting like locations and shit, and then he says, "Why do people even bother fucking with me?" How is this guy? Was it ever confirmed how this guy was like able to do this shit, or? Oh wait, hold on. Let me read this guy's response. I didn't see this guy's response in the thread. 1 second.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot here.
You Good Guy Dev replied earlier in a thread about this on RX. Hi everyone, thanks for bringing this to my attention. This is a serious issue. I would never give out IP address to anyone. Anonymity is an important pillar of Neat Clip, which I want to guarantee for my users in order to protect them. Users should not be afraid of streamers, corporations, or groups such as a subreddit. Furthermore, giving out IP address will be a direct violation of the GDPR. It's clear it's a no-go. I'm not sure who the webman is that he's referring to, but it's not me. Maybe there's more context in other messages, but I can assure you that I've never gave out anyone's IP and never will. Oh wait, so they could still be getting it from somebody that works there, just not like the actual owner or whatever. But yeah, there was like there's like a ton of shit that were the main parts of these logs that I was interested in was they were linked to me where they were talking a bunch of shit about banning my posting because they were really mad that my shit got upvoted. And that was what I was like mainly interested in, but I haven't had a chance to go through all of the things yet, which is why I hadn't posted as a main topic. But it seemed like there was a lot of pretty Sweat City shit in here with people trying to dox people and whatnot. Apparently, the main gist I got from this was that these guys really fucking hate Ice Poseidon and his community. But yeah.
Now, why would that be? Is there anything besides the obvious surface level like CX cringe behavior that you see at times from the extremes of that fan base, or is there something else I don't know about?
Apparently there was a lot of like brigading and shit that was going on. A lot of brigading. Which is understandable because Ice Poseidon's community posts on Reddit so much. Like I could definitely see why people were why these subreddit mods were so irritated at Ice's shit, because they do brigade the fuck out of a lot of shit. It happened before he got banned from there as well. So,
okay. Well, I found I skimmed through all the questions here. I found like a lot is actually we ended up covering anyway in the topics here, but I did find one I thought was interesting. If you want to give this a crack for the final one here.
Yeah, go for it.
So do you guys envision playing video games forever? For me, it's kind of funny to think about our generation as the first ones with senior citizens in nursing homes still playing games. So do you see yourself playing video games forever?
That's a really fucking hard question to answer.
Yeah, I look at it, I'm like, well, I feel like, well, the one thing we can guarantee, right, is that video games and being, I guess, a gamer will be further normalized over time to where it won't seem like an extreme here, because I think of it, if you swap the activity out, right, do you see yourself watching movies forever? Do you see yourself reading books forever? And do you see yourself playing video games? Video games are essentially just, the I guess in some cases here, like the superior entertainment medium, because it's interactive, unlike static entertainment. I guess superior is not the right word here, but I guess different, whatever, right? But I see that getting further and further normalized to where probably by the time that we are old, this won't even be a question that will be asked because it will be so standard, I would say.
Well, the reason why I don't know and I'm hesitant to comment on it is because like your interests change over time, and it's really hard to say like how things will play out in the future. So like I could think of a million different examples of this. Here's like fuck, I hate to fucking go to these examples, but like the easiest one that I can think of, I don't know if you've ever had this experience, I don't know if I've ever brought up this problem to you. Did you ever worry, so like when you grow up, when you're like 17, 18, you're like all you can think about is like, fuck, like people make fun of older guys being into younger girls, and I'm in high school, like high school girls are so fucking hot, I can't ever imagine not feeling this way. But then when you get, how old are you again? We're close in age, right?
Yeah, I'm 29.
Yeah, but then when you hit like a certain age, I don't know when it happens, but like I know that like I'm like 28, 29, I'm 30 now. If I go into a restaurant and I like even fucking see, let alone hear high school girls talking, I want to fucking kill myself immediately. And it's like that idea that my taste could change so much, like so dramatically, is like really hard for me to even imagine. And I'm sure it's true in like a million other things as well. Like friends, I wish I could use politics because a lot of kids don't like politics, but I guess I was always into politics growing up. But like I'm sure there's like similar things where like you're growing up and you're thinking like, oh, like I'm always gonna love this thing, or I'm always gonna be super into this. But then I don't know, at some point you just kind of get older and it's just not the same, and you look back, you're like, I don't really know if I feel the same way. So maybe it's possible that like when you're like 45 or 50, maybe video games just aren't that appealing anymore. I don't know, it's hard to say, you know?
Yeah, man, you threw out a really good example I'd love to actually elaborate on there, the whole high school thing.
Oh yeah, go for it, yeah.
Well, because I went through I went through a similar thing. Yeah, I thought whatever, high school girls were hot whenever I was in high school, sure. But also at the same time though, I was I had that virginity going on for a long period of time, way longer than I ever cared to admit. And so I had rampant insecurity with that. So I was under the premise that things would get better. My insecurity about that particular thing would go away if I had a girlfriend. I was literally that feeling no girlfriend for such a long period of time that I let the bias of like the comfort of, oh, I'm no longer alone. I don't have like an obvious source of insecurity at this point because I am now finally in a relationship, and just the status of being in one and being taken will automatically make me a happier, better person. So I was under that facade for a long period of time, for years, until finally I got into the workforce and I had to be around all these not just females, by the way, but a bunch of crazy, moody people, a lot of them women, though, to be fair. And I was like, no, I understand now. Some of these girls I hear are fucking crazy, and I think I'm actually happier single because I don't have to deal with any. Imagine having to deal with the crazy coworkers, but in a relationship at any given time. So I'd rather wait for a personality that's compatible with my sanity more so than just get taken and be in a relationship for a period of time. So that for me did change too. I had a drastic change in my perception of what I found attractive actually. Between high school going into between ages 16 to 22. I know it's a big gap of 6 years, right? But between those ages, what I found attractive changed. Holy fuck, big time. Went from being almost a purely physical appearance thing to then me slowly through workplace experiences switching over to finding personality much more appealing than personality
in life and stages. Wait, what's this? You work a job, you make fucking $70K a year? That's hot as fuck. I really like that. I appreciate that stability. Shit like that is yeah.
Yeah. And, also, and I think back to maybe I was happier too because of it. Because if I was in a relationship in high school, and it probably wouldn't have worked out statistically speaking here, then it would have been a lot of time and baggage up into ultimately a failed thing. And then you have some people who are kind of stuck off the whole the sting of a failed relationship, and then they have to some of them don't understand to not let that stigma hold into the next person, their next partner, and they may be may have volcano hotspots of triggering because of whatever the previous partner did, which might not even be necessarily the fault of the current partner. Sorry, it sounds specific here, but that's a thing I've seen toxic relationships with my coworkers so often that I saw what to avoid and what to not do concerning that. Sure. But yeah, the point still stands about what you're saying here about the tastes do change over time, and bringing it back to gaming. I just don't. I don't know. I think I enjoy it too much. I couldn't see myself ever really stopping playing gaming.
Yeah, I agree. That's how I feel right now. Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. There's too many games I look forward to. I'm such a Nintendo fanboy. I just can't ever see myself saying, okay, well, I no longer care about playing the next Mario or the next Zelda or the next Smash Brothers.
It's really hard. It's also really hard to tell how much games have gotten better or worse versus how much your tastes have changed as well too. Because for instance, I would have a really hard time. There are some things that there's some things that I was on and some things that I wasn't on. So I played Final Fantasy VII and shit growing up, and that's my favorite game of all time. But I didn't play Chrono Trigger at all growing up, and I've heard a lot of people say that's one of the best games ever made. Up there, it's always listed up there with Final Fantasy VII, Chrono Trigger. These games are always listed together. I tried to play Chrono Trigger and I fucking hated it. It was so fucking bad. Have you played Chrono Trigger? Are you a Chrono Trigger boy?
No, I haven't. I haven't actually played it. It's on my big queue though. I've heard great things about it.
Yeah, I tried playing it a year ago, and I just totally not even close. And I couldn't even finish.
I will. Okay, listen. I will go in with you. Okay, so here's my hot take. All right. So I had heard through. No, let's go back here to the year 2003. I had heard through back when gaming magazines were regularly the word on the street. The internet was still young in the game, so the printed word was still very effective for majority of my gaming news. And I had seen for the umpteenth time people dick riding Final Fantasy VII as the be all end all. You got to play it. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, I heard this game is really fucking lit. I happened to come across a copy of it for pretty cheap at a thrift shop. And so I put it in, and maybe because it was my first JRPG and I wasn't prepared for what it was, but for me it was kind of a boring slog through the first disc, and I ultimately pieced out on it. Now I do think.
Wait, which game are you talking about again? I missed the.
I'm sorry, Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And how long ago was this?
This was 2003, so I was okay. The context here though is I was 13, 14 years old at that time. So I think I was a lot more impatient. I blatantly enjoyed platformers. I enjoyed Sonic and Mario a fuck ton. So I wasn't really ready for a story heavy turn-based RPG
Sure.
or whatever. So I think that if I do want to revisit it again, because I ultimately didn't like it. I quit it because I got bored of it or whatever, or the story didn't engage me enough yet to give a shit about it. Because everyone was like so happy about how great it was.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it might be
revisit.
it might be possible. That's the thing. Like, I replayed Final Fantasy VII, and I loved the fuck out of it a few years ago. But I don't know if somebody could play it today that's never played it and like it. Like, everything is just so dated.
That's the thing. Yeah, because I'm like, yeah, these graphics, like, like, oh, the graphics are so great. I'm like, well, I mean,
they're not.
I'm sure they were in '97, but like, man, this is like it's a tough swallow now to appreciate what I'm looking at this point. So, yeah, I've been debating revisiting FF7 to understand better, like, one, how good the game is or what the acclaim is all about, and then two, like, have my taste really changed a shit ton in the last 15 years.
Yeah, it's so hard to tell because of how new and changed like everything is now. Like, yeah, have your taste changed because of the culture? Have they changed because you've gotten older? Yeah, it's so fucking difficult to tell.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'll give you a better example here, right? Let's look at God of War 2018 for PS4.
Fuck, I didn't play that game.
Or Dad of War. Well, even regardless of what your opinion of it is, like, can you imagine like a father with a young son who plays that game compared to like a non-parent playing that game? That's like, man, the dad, the parent playing that game is like so far up their own fucking fields by the end of like the first like 5 hours of the game that they're already like, oh my god, I love it. I relate to all this shit because fucking Atreus is my son and I love him.
Oh yeah, no, that's actually 100% true. When I watch movies now, I empathize a lot more with father figures looking at children or whatever. It's something that strikes a chord to me a lot more than it did before I had a fucking kid. So yeah, that's probably true as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it even goes further into a lot of our favorite shows and mediums. Like you look back on it as an adult and you're like, holy shit. Because I'm thinking back here now, like, okay, I'm sorry, I'll throw out one more example.
I got a real good one when you're done that might trigger the fuck out of you. Go ahead.
Ooh, okay, all right. Well, what comes to mind for me would be like, aside from the obvious being like SpongeBob, but Rocko's Modern Life, if you recall that cartoon on Nickelodeon. As a kid, I found the slapstick funny. As an adult, I see that the freaking like
the work environment and everything.
There are so many masturbation jokes in the background. It's crazy, dude. The freaking the jackometer, there's like every single thing has like an innuendo that's like super duper like masturbation related, and I'm like, how the fuck did they get away with that in '96? Dude, it's crazy. So
this is totally random. Did you see the post on Reddit where the guy is carving something and like they show Arthur and it's a vagina and they snuck it past the censors or whatever?
No, what? No, you got a pick. Or is that what you want to show me and talk about? That's
no, that wasn't it. But fuck. I'm glad I don't have this on my screen because I just googled some really bad shit. I'm not gonna be able to fucking find it.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So I was gonna say something like a point of growing up is taste in anime. Wow. Growing up, I would have never ever liked something like fucking Steins Gate. It would be the most boring fucking thing in the world to me. I wouldn't even imagine liking something. But now, also being a little more grown up, I don't know how the fuck I ever liked shonen anime. Like things like Rurouni Kenshin or Dragon Ball Z. Anything that has a tournament arc, Yu Yu Hakusho, like stuff like this, like I can't even imagine at this stage of my life. It's just stuff that is like wholly uninteresting to me that I like have a really hard time like trying to get into anything. So that's like an interesting thing where I never could have imagined my taste changing so much. Yeah.
So you know what's funny about that? I had a similar 180. I used to fucking consume shoujo trash all fucking day, dude. Every like generic manga romance novel with like ecchi day in and day out. Like, will the protagonist and the main girl ever get together? It's just them like flirting and like never fucking, random tit grab here, random Pontu shot there, and just going on and on and on again. Like I'm thinking of Ichigo 100% particular here. Sorry, I said fast. I'm thinking of Ichigo 100% particularly here. And like I used to like, when I was a teenager, sexually frustrated teenager, I would like, yeah, man, this is what love is like, man. Is he gonna get her? Am I gonna get her? I see myself do the protagonist here. I live for this shit. I'm addicted. And it's like now as an adult, I'm like, whatever, dude, just get laid already. Like fucking move on. Like I'm so past that facade now, and I move on to the next thing at this point. So
Okay.
Sorry, I'm revealing my power level now, so I don't know what else to say about it.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
But
I think that's
yeah,
it. I think we're good for today. Do we have any final closing, parting thoughts on anything?
Yeah, I like playing video games.
Hopefully it
No,
stays that way, I guess.
dude, I don't even fucking know. Yeah, I'm excited. If we have a follow up next week, that's gonna be minor here. I will definitely watch the R. Kelly. It's called Surviving R. Kelly. It's free to watch right now. You actually can find it online. On Lifetime, just Google Surviving R. Kelly. I'm gonna watch it, and I'll have a follow up with that next podcast. I know that we have some people are bringing up here a couple of. Are we going to have any more guests on the show? And I think we have some things in the background right now, right? We're working on some people we have on the show soon, correct?
Yeah, we've got a bunch of things in the work. It just comes down to who we want on. This Surviving R. Kelly thing is like a multi fucking episode thing.
Yeah, it's a six. I think it's a 5 or 6 episode series.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Well, I mean, there's a lot to cover, dude. Like you.
All right.
That's why the movement's so big because like I'm guessing that the docuseries like kind of exhaustively covers the entirety of it, like R. Kelly's rise to fame, in addition to like his accusations from 2002, and then going into like whatever's happening now, and then the counterpoint to those accusations.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I'll check it out though. I'm gonna let you guys know what's going on with that next week.
All right, cool. Well, hey, thanks for joining us, and thanks for me for joining. I don't know if I'm supposed to say thanks for joining us because you're like the co-host, right? That doesn't really make sense.
No, I'm okay with it.
Thanks for being here. Do you want to plug anything or give any final shout outs to anything like that before we cut off?
Yeah. So yeah, I'll be going live after this. I have my big Destiny debate reaction Wednesdays. I'm trying to milk those for all I can.
Oh God.
Well, now I only do it on Wednesdays after the podcast now because it's a great crossover event where I get to further learn from the debate master himself here, and just get to have a fun time revisiting the classics. The best of Destiny Volume 1. The bangers just keep on coming. So I'll be doing that. I've been grinding on, you guys may not know here, but a big profile game coming out soon. Got Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out the end of January, and I have the ambitious task here of catching up on the entirety of the Kingdom Hearts series in time for it. So come through today if you want to check out both the podcast after party and me playing through for the first time Kingdom Hearts 2. I started that yesterday. I'm about 3 hours in right now. So
damn, you'll have to tell me. I heard the story for that game is more convoluted than like Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh my god, dude! Let's not even get into it. I don't want to trigger all the Kingdom Hearts fans because that is a topic for another day, dude. Holy fuck.
Damn. All right. Well, hey, I'm Destiny. I mean, obviously my shit is all Destiny GG. We're selling new meme shirts. If you want to check out destiny.gg/shirt, my merchandise is kind of what I'm pushing the most at the moment. But yeah, you can definitely check that out. I think we have a limited edition shirt, that dumb fucking Destiny shit. I don't know why the fuck anybody would ever buy this. But I guess if you have money to waste or some shit, yeah, you can get these memes. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks a lot for joining us, guys. We'll be back next week. We should start a little earlier next week. We're getting into the swing of things. Also, my camera is super shit right now. I know. I think my new camera is actually here right now. That's what I'm getting like messages for. As I've got packages and shit arriving. So hopefully I'll have that taken care of, and then I'll probably get like furniture or something to deal with the echo a little, because I know that some people are getting triggered by that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. Catch you next week. Stay safe. I'll see you guys later.
Later, everyone. Peace.